All right, welcome into your WWE Bum Fights 2013. Survivor Series 2013 review. Dude, I'm so ready to just fucking say this. Let me get this out of the way first. A couple disclaimers, quick plug, and then I'll get into it. And I've got Mad Genius here, of course, from Virtuoso Sports. Subscribe to him. Let me first say this. If you enjoyed the show, good Lord, more power to you. This is an entertainment-based industry, and it's just like movies or television. Who am I to tell you how to think? We are here each and every time we do a wrestling video to tell you how we think, how we felt. We're not here to tell people how to think. So I want to get that out of the way. If you liked it, good. But also come over to blitzsportsnetwork.com. A lot of great wrestling fans on there already. You get all kinds of content on there. Mad Genius, real quickly, so we can get to our review here of the bum fights.
I was gonna say I'd rather talk about this than pay-per-view.
Yeah, because we've actually had more fun on the website than we have talking about current stuff. But tell the folks how in-depth these articles are in these private. You guys get VIP videos. I mean, long VIP videos.
Well, I know for a fact that at least the ones that I was on, we went back and looked at every match, championship pay-per-view match of the person's career. Not only that, but the Hogan article, he goes super in depth. A lot of things that some guys, some things people might not know about the Hogan and WWF and Hulkamania era. The Rock article, I have not got a chance to get to yet. The CM Punk article.
You're gonna love the Rock one. Yeah, that one was pretty cool.
The CM Punk article is the shit. I mean, it even made me angry. I mean, it's just comprehensive. I mean, you're talking about from how good of a worker they are to the way they've been booked and pushed. Hands down, best weekly read. Wrestling weekly reads out there, hands down.
Yeah, and by the way, if somewhere to go crappy with Google and YouTube, which by the way, a lot of you are experiencing that in the comments, how Google can be hard to deal with at times, which I've got nothing but good things to say about them from my end, other than a few glitches here and there. But if something were to go bad, guess where you guys are going to find me? On that website. So join blitzsportsnetwork.com today. Give it a shot. You won't regret it. All right, so let me just get out. Before we go into the details of the matches.
Damn, Peyton, another one.
Let me just get this out there at the beginning of the review. This fucking pay-per-view sucked ass. And I sit there and I try to listen to people. And we're going to go into details. There was some good stuff. There was a lot of shitty stuff. And we're going to get into all that here in a minute. So sit back, relax, pause the video, get yourself some popcorn, and I hope you guys have a fucking good time. But the fact of the matter is, just coming off the pay-per-view, my first thought, raced home to do this review, because I'll tell you what, man, I should total up the money I've saved this year by going to a restaurant to watch these instead of buying them. Because I used to buy every single one just to be able to talk about it. And my buddy was like, hey, we show those at the restaurant. So I go to a restaurant. But here's the thing. Just coming out of this pay-per-view, my first thought is, fuck this shit, same old fucking shit. Fuck it, I'm sick and tired of this fucking generation of the WWE. It's garbage, and unless we have a returning star or a combination of returning stars, it fucking sucks. Sucks. They push the wrong guys. The crowd tells them who they want to be pushed. They ignore it. They keep shoving the same motherfuckers down your fucking throat. Cena's garbage. Orton is fucking garbage. I'm back on the Orton is garbage bandwagon. I had been kind of sticking up for him a little bit as far as his in-ring work, but fuck Orton and fuck Triple H, fuck John Cena, fuck him. And the guys that we really want to see are trapped in the fucking mid-card. Fuck this shit. This fucking pay-per-view sucked. It was fucking boring. Fuck it. We're going to explain more in detail in a little bit. And I'll just go ahead and jump right to the end. Fuck it. To have fucking John Cena and Randy Orton in the ring at the end of a pay-per-view, the fuck is this, 2008? When is this company going to try to... by the way, BlitzSportsNetwork.com, I show you all, through the Nielsen ratings, how viewership is dive bombing the past 5-6 years. It's been terrible. People keep turning the TV off. They're like, fuck this shit. And you know what? Instead of making a change, they think, well, we'll go back to Old Faithful. We'll go back to Triple H, John Cena, and Randy Orton. By the way, a high percentage of your audience stopped watching because you went to that. And what do they do again tonight? They fucking go to that again. And let me tell you something, folks. Survivor Series was a tradition every year. I was texting one of my good buddies earlier, and I texted over the card to him. And I said, remember when we used to care about Survivor Series every year? We all of us friends used to all get together and watch it together. And Survivor Series was a big deal. And you're going into the holiday season. You're excited. You're like, yep, be buying some Christmas presents, you know, this week and try to knock out the Christmas shopping and stuff. But, you know, Thanksgiving's coming. Go spend time with the family. Go eat some good food. Try not to overindulge. That good feeling that you have going because it's the holiday season's upon you. And how does it all kick off? It kicks off with fucking Survivor Series. Well, I texted over the card to a guy who would never miss a Survivor Series for years and never missed a wrestling show or nothing. He typed back to me, I shit you not, and he said, the fuck is this, bum fights? And I wrote back, I said, LOL, I said, pretty much. And I got to totally agree with him, so I'm stealing my friend's line that this was Bum Fights 2013 tonight.
You know, does anybody off the top of their head know how long the Austin and Rock rivalry lasted, since we consider that probably the greatest feud of all time? For, you know, 1997 was when it, you know, initially started, and then you had obviously some injuries and both guys leaving, and the final match was in '03, so, you know, give or take, you know, a couple of years, you're talking about a rivalry that lasted only 4 or 5 years between Rock and Austin. Orton and Cena, this shit has been going on since '06. We're talking about 7 years now, going into an 8th year. Nobody wants to see this shit anymore. Nobody. Fucking Big Show, fucking Cena, fucking Orton, Triple H. It's been the same shit going on like 15 years now. Why the fuck should we be interested?
Ooh, yeah, the pay-per-view was garbage, yeah! I mean, dude, listen to this. Okay, first of all, Shane Fitzsimmons says he got a subscription to the website, and in case if anybody is wondering, he says my articles are amazing, that I flattened Cena with facts. Where did it go? Well, a bunch of people just commented and disappeared. The Hulk Hogan article was very tragic with what happened. The Rock article was absolutely epic, so yeah, it's worth it. So there you go. I'm so fucking sick and tired of this shit, man. And then you know the worst thing about going back and doing these nostalgic articles and VIP videos, man? You turn on today's wrestling and you're like, whoa, this shit is it's even fucking worse. When you go back and you look at all the shit that used to entertain us, and then you watch this shit from today and you say, this is pathetic. It's fucking garbage. No, there's some people that want to watch Mad Genius, not me. I mean, I'll keep obviously doing the review videos and stuff on the website and stuff because I like it. I love the interaction with all the wrestling fans who feel just like us. But as far as do I look forward to it? Fuck no. No. The last time I can't remember, dude. I don't look forward to any of this shit. I don't look forward to anything anymore.
Let's just say there's a reason I didn't even put up a preview. I honestly, little guys, when we came on the Raw review last week, and I said I did not know Survivor Series was today until they mentioned it on the show. That shows you my interest level in this shitty product.
I called Mad Genius earlier. He's like, I can be home in 45 minutes to an hour. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do the review. And he's like, well, it doesn't matter if I'm there or not because the whole time I would just have my middle finger up. I'm like, oh,
yeah, that's pretty much how I'm feeling.
True story. So anyways, let's get into the match.
Now. Thank you, WWE.
Yeah, let's get into the matches. How many times have we talked about pay-per-views where they get off to a good start and then it just goes down fucking hill like a boulder? You know?
Oh, this was it.
This was case in point what you get from the WWE today. This pay-per-view is why they've lost millions and millions of fans. And the Nielsen ratings back up what I just said, and I've got them on the website. Year by year, average Nielsen rating on the website. Oh boy. So we get the kickoff show, Echo. We get the kickoff show, The Miz versus Kofi Kingston. They went for some good chain wrestling reversals, but most of it really was not crisp. Really was not feeling the match, but the Miz went over with a roll-up reversal. After the match, Miz offered Kofi a handshake, but Kofi slapped Miz instead. Who cares? Who cares? Who fucking cares? Mad Genius.
Miz, Kofi. Oh. I'm sorry, I just can't find a give two fucks.
2 fucks is too much. 1 fuck is way more than too much. But we'll just go ahead and move
you
on.
guys are gonna have to give me a lifetime to kind of find some somewhere deep down in my fucking heart where I might care about this shit.
Well, yeah. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H are backstage. We get this promo. Or no, they come out. That's right. Stephanie welcomes everyone to the 27th annual Survivor Series. Stephanie and Triple H guarantee there will be no physical interference in any match tonight. Triple H then does. He's supposed to be this fucking heel authority figure. And then, of course, you know, triple ego. Boston, are you ready? We're going to bore you to death. I mean, dude, who fucking cares? Triple H, I talk like this, and I bore everyone to death. And there's some people out there who think I was good, but there's a lot of people like Bruce Blitz who think I was garbage. Because he was. Fuck him. He never fucking entertained me. And if you didn't catch my drift in that Rock article, you never will. I pretty much explained my stance on Triple H.
Triple H knows the show, you know?
Fuck,
yeah, he knows not knows the show.
He knows the show. He knows the show.
He knows the show.
We're going to keep telling you that I'm great. And we're going to put out DVD after DVD calling me the leader of D-Generation X when everybody knows that it was Shawn Michaels. And every time that I was in a big match, I was the afterthought. Whoa, let me blow some water up in the air. You know, come on, dude. Fuck Triple H.
So you start the show with this. You start the show with Triple H, and you end the show with Cena and Orton. Does that tell you a fuck enough about what the fuck WWE is doing right now?
Dude, every pay-per-view this year has been garbage. Every one. Tell me one that we actually thought was good.
From start to finish, none. There's been matches here and there that we've liked, but start to finish, none.
Oh my gosh, this was Survivor Series. This is the beginning of Thanksgiving week. This is something that we've looked forward to for years as wrestling fans. But are you ready for another shitty pay-per-view from the WWE?
I mean, let's just look at it. I mean, last year we had the Shield debut, and at the time, fuck yeah, the Shield was fucking awesome. The year before that, we had Rock and Cena versus Miz and Truth. I mean, fuck, The Rock, basically The Rock's first time back in the ring. Fuck yeah, we were excited. Plus, we got Ziggler and fucking Orton tearing the fucking house down.
No. That was Rock's best in-ring work. The whole time he was back. Survivor Series 2011, hands down. I mean, that was awesome. And the crowd fucking owned Cena's phony ass. Fucking owned him.
And you had fucking heel Ziggler versus face Orton, and the crowd was behind Ziggler 100% of the way, and Ziggler was fucking over. I mean, fucking last year you had Ziggler winning the fucking Survivor Series. And then this year you get this shit.
Why? Because he went a little out of pocket and didn't toe the company line. You know, that's what you get from WWE. The people that you see that are really pushed are the ones that kiss ass and say the right things. Not the ones who are the most entertaining. If it worked like that, fucking Charlie Sheen would have never been the TV star that he is. Would have never been. But he became the TV star that he is. And by the way, I've never liked Charlie Sheen all the way back to Hot Shots. You know, like I've told you guys, I'm a movie critic. You know, I fucking love watching movies. And everything I've been doing lately is cutting into my movie time, which sucks. But, I mean, look at the fucking star he blew up to be. You know? And people were like, well, you know, this dude's a philanderer and he's a drug addict. We can't put him on TV. But no, they put the guy on TV because he was a fucking man. and he was able to pull in a lot of money. And you look at the company like the WWE, they don't do that with a Punk. They don't do that with a Ziggler. Ziggler constantly gets good reactions from crowds.
Anybody who has, but anybody who has hope left for Ziggler, end it now. 2 years ago, had it not been for The Rock wrestling on that Survivor Series show, Ziggler stole the fucking show.
Yep.
With that match with Orton, he stole the fucking show, and technically that was the best full match on the card. I mean, yeah, we had The Rock wrestling his first match, but the other people in the match were fucking shitty. But Ziggler stole that show, and last year he steals the fucking show again when he wins the Survivor Series.
Wait a minute. Look at what this company did with Daniel Bryan. If there was any fucking other entertainment company on the planet that took guys who became organically popular and didn't use them in the right way, and they slowly fucking tried to drive Daniel Bryan back down to the mid card. And remember, Mad Genius, I was probably one of the only ones in the world when he beat Cena. I was like, first of all, it wasn't clean because Cena lost with one arm. And second of all, I'm not buying into this. They fucked up Ziggler, they'll fuck up Daniel Bryan. You remember me saying that. Because I know how this company...
I was on the other side.
Yeah, because you were like, they're going with Daniel Bryan. I said, I don't know, dude.
I was like, man, he beat him with the knee clean, man. It didn't have anything to do with the arm. And fucking next night, Cena comes out and cuts the promo on the fucking elbow.
Yeah, I mean, I have constantly told you guys that the company's going to continue to do the same thing. Because it's obvious the way that they operate. And you look at a company who has had guys who have gotten over with the restrictions of today, and then they don't run with it. You know, CM Punk was over. He was fucking over as fuck. And what did they do? Turn him heel. What? Wait a minute. What? That's what we were saying at the time on the podcast, Mad Genius, before we, tried to take YouTube by storm. I was saying, dude, I can't believe they fucking turned him heel. And then remember when they came out with that DVD, I was like, this company has to be absolutely fucking crazy to take a guy who was that organically over to put out a DVD that was basically a babyface DVD, and you have already turned him heel. What kind of fucking sense?
I called it months before. I called it, and you were like, no, they're not going to do that. They got the DVD coming out. I called it months before.
Because who the fuck in their right mind does that? Who the fuck in their right mind does that? Oh my gosh. I am so jaded with this product, dude.
It's bad that it's to a point where there's going to be predictability in wrestling at times. We know that. Sometimes it's a good predictability. It's bad when we can predict the bad, predictable shit months and months in advance. I mean, we're not talking about a week of. We're talking about months in advance. We're calling shit happening.
Dude, I nailed the Daniel Bryan thing. I nailed the fucking Dolph Ziggler thing. I was like, oh, you all are excited that... I can't remember what the exact title of the video was, but the point of the video, if you look through my channel and just type in Dolph Ziggler, you should be able to find it on a channel.
Oh, the night he cashed in.
Yeah, I was like, they're going to fuck this up, remember? And a lot of people are like, oh, you're crazy. They're giving him a push. What are you complaining about? I said, they will fuck this up, I promise you.
Yeah, because you said they did it just to keep us happy because of how shitty WrestleMania was.
Are you ready for the guys you like to be buried? So anyway, Cody Rhodes... Go ahead.
I have a special request. They need to take Mark Henry's theme music away from him and give it to either Biggie Langston or fucking Roman Reigns. If one of those guys came out to that song, I'd be like, fuck yes. That's what they need to do, but go ahead.
All right, moving on. Yeah. I at this point, entrance music is the least of my worries. But I get where you're coming from.
It's the most entertaining part of the show.
Is there an entertaining part anymore? So anyways, Cody Rhodes, Goldust, the Usos, Rey Mysterio Jr. against Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Antonio Cesaro. A traditional Survivor Series elimination match. By the way, one of the high points of the show. The high point of the show.
I'm about to say the.
Yeah. So Zeb Coulter comes out and cuts a promo about the Boston Tea Party. Fans in the crowd not being revolutionary in Boston. Makes a joke about twerking that the announcers bid on. Nobody wants to see him twerk. Don't you love how the fucking WWE is always late to the dance with stuff like this? You're like, oh, that's a one of them internet things that people are doing, right? How long has been twerking? Twerking been a big deal, like 4 or 5 months. They're like, hey, I got an idea. Now that the twerking craze has died down, what if Zeb Coulter got there and twerk? How fucking corny was that? Oh my gosh, it was lame as fuck, dude. And then once again, JBL tries to make a case that the Shield have been more dominant than the NWO Four Horsemen and DX. DX, I agree with. Fuck you for saying the Four Horsemen and NWO. Are you kidding me? We're talking about the Four Horsemen and NWO. And don't get me wrong, I like the Shield. I like all the guys in the Shield. But give me a fucking break. It just reminds me of when Jim Ross was like, I've never seen anybody like Ryback. And him and I got in the big Twitter war. Me and Jim Ross, because I was like, Jim, all due respect, but come on. How can you say that knowing that Goldberg existed? You're fucking nuts. And him and I went back. He's like, well, my job is to edify today's athletes. And I wrote back, I said, you're fucking crazy, man. You look like an idiot, dude. You're better than that. I hate that shit. And believe me, I know they're put up to it. I know someone's in their ear hole. Listen, this is the game. Say that the Shield are more dominant than the NWO, the Four Horsemen at DX. JBL's like, okay, I gotta tell you right now, no disrespect, that he has to say it, man, so he can get paid. It's fucking bullshit to make that dude do that, man, because he just sounds so fucking stupid. So Cody Rhodes eliminates Dean Ambrose early in the match, really early, which I was like, huh? And then
it makes sense in the end, but
kind of, yeah. Jack Swagger was eliminated next by Jey Uso after he took the 619 from Mysterio, a super kick from Jimmy, and a splash from Jay, 3 count. Yeah, get Lack Swagger out of there. Antonio Cesaro did the Cesaro swing on both Usos to a pop and a fan count to the Revolutions, but the cutting to different cameras was fucking annoying. Go to the hard camera, motherfuckers. It looked like fucking a cheap rendition of the Blair Witch Project. I'm not a fan of the Cesaro swing either. That's just me. Cody Rhodes tagged in and pinned and off balance Antonio Cesaro with the roll up. So it was 5-on-2 with the babyfaces against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns eliminated Jey Uso with the spear. Roman Reigns eliminated Cody Rhodes with the spear to make it 3-on-2. Seth Rollins eliminated Jey Uso with a nice little head stomp. Rey Mysterio eliminated Seth Rollins when he slid down his back for a roll-up. After Goldust worked over Roman Reigns for a little while, Roman Reigns reversed the whip and came off the ropes with a spear on Goldust to eliminate Goldust. Rey Mysterio came into the ring and set up Roman Reigns for the 619. As Rey Mysterio came off the ropes for the 619, Roman Reigns hit him with a spear for the 3 count. Roman Reigns eliminated 4 out of the 5 fucking baby faces. They're finally doing something right until he says something that they don't like. And the announcers called it one of the greatest performances in Survivor Series history. Storyline-wise, yeah. Big push for Roman Reigns. Very cool moment, especially the way the spear looked like it came out of nowhere with the camera angle on Rey Mysterio Jr. I gave the match a 4.5 out of 5, and Roman Reigns looked fantastic. The finish took it from a 3.5 to a 4.5 with me because it's hope that they push someone. Here's a guy in Roman Reigns, and here's the truth, folks. Vince McMahon has an affinity for bodybuilders and big guys, so he, Roman Reigns is someone who's more likely to be pushed to a top spot instead of that motherfucking boring, phony piece of trash, John Cena. And so it gives you hope because here's a guy who's jacked, who's entertaining to watch, who has a believability factor, who's cousins with The Rock, who could get pushed to that spot. So it gives us hope. But at the same time, I will caution everybody and say, every time we get our fucking hopes up, it all ends up being going back to Cena, and don't be surprised if you see Roman Reigns putting over John Cena. But for tonight, cool, got to push. He's the standout guy in the Shield, in my opinion, when it pertains to the total package, and it's no coincidence that he's related to The Rock with that one. The only thing that he has yet to prove is if he's going to be good on the mic on his own. So, but yeah, they're headed in the right direction with Roman Reigns, and I say that cautiously, Matt Genius.
Uh, Roman Reigns is the future of the company. I mean, probably not until after Cena leaves, but after Cena does decide to finally hang them up, Roman Reigns is the guy. So,
Wait a minute, wait a minute. The day that John Cena hangs him up, I'm gonna be like, yeah, fuck on to that motherfucker. Yeah, we've been waiting for this for years. Leave, bitch.
So, I mean, Roman Reigns is that next. He is the next true face of the company. Meaning, when Cena leaves, he'll be the guy. Cool, man. To see how they mentioned the fact he eliminated 4 people, really made him look really strong. How they had the spears coming out of nowhere. I mean, he fucking destroyed Rey Mysterio. And shout out to Rey Mysterio for selling the fuck out of that. Um, really cool spots in the match. You had the sunset flip bomb that Goldust hit on Cesaro. Really nice. I can't remember who Cesaro hit that pop-up uppercut on. Man, Seth Rollins with the fucking blackout, which I call it, but people saw it as a curb stomp when he eliminated one of the Uso brothers. Blackout, that's his finishing move. Nice to see that move come into play. Usos looked really good in this match. Literally everybody looked good in this match except Jack Swagger and Rey Mysterio, who obviously isn't 100% and just isn't what he used to be. But like Jack Swagger was really the only weak link in this match. I mean, Ambrose wasn't in the match long enough to even be considered a weak link.
Jack Swagger's a weak link no matter what match he's in.
Yeah.
I don't like watching that motherfucker. I don't like watching that goofy-ass motherfucker wrestle, man. He's awkward as shit, dude. I can't, out of all the guys in WWE history that get the last name Swagger, this clown. I mean, come on, Jack Swagger. Dude, when they were pushing him as World Heavyweight Champion, I'm just sitting there looking at this dude, and I'm like, really? This motherfucker's garbage. And then there's other people out there that, like, more power to you. But for me, he comes off as being very awkward. I don't get into the Jack Swagger thing one bit.
I do want to point out, though, that they're dropping the ball on Cody Rhodes. Anytime you see him and Goldust in any type of tag team action, Goldust is always the guy with the emphasis on him. Even though Cody didn't necessarily take a finisher and lose today, but he got eliminated early on in the match. And fucking Goldust and Rey Mysterio left. And then anytime you talked about this when they first started tag teaming, how he was never the guy who got the hot tag. It was always Goldust. There's not enough emphasis placed on Cody Rhodes as far as that tag team goes, but overall, this match was fun to watch. I enjoyed the pace. I enjoyed the storytelling of it. Roman Reigns, fucking animal. After the match, him just standing there and kind of soaking in the moment was really cool. And then the announcers, this is probably the highlight of the show from the announcers. It's pretty much a tease of a face turn when they mentioned the fact that he was giving Rey Mysterio props. And Rey Mysterio was giving him props back, so they're pretty much teasing the face turn for Roman Reigns again. So I really like this match. Probably the only match on the card with replay that's replayable.
By the way, there's people saying that Vince McMahon came out to try to fight Cena after the show went off the air. I don't know.
That. There's a video of it, yeah, he did, but it's just teasing for. He's coming back on TV soon, and he's gonna end up.
You know why? Why? Because since I did that article on the ratings and stuff, I saw the ratings from this year. They will be the lowest that they've been in 15 years on average this year. Yeah. WWE is fucking dying. Not in the sense that they're going to close, but in the sense that this is they haven't had less people watch them since the In Your House era. When, after all the stuff went down, which we won't go into, you can come to the website to see that in the Hulk Hogan article. But after everything went down and the company was fucking going into the shitter, that's where they're at right now. And then what happens every fucking time the ratings drop big time? Because they hit, 2.65 or something like that, I think it was, really low for them, especially with such an established audience. And last week, because I just recently did some research on the ratings. I usually don't look at them, but I did for the website. And last week, the drop-off from hour to hour, by the time they got to the third hour, so many hundreds of thousands of people had changed the channel. And every time that happens, Vince thinks if he comes back, he's going to save it.
It's been planned all along, though. He's going to be the face authority figure versus Triple H and Stephanie as the heel authority
Dude,
figures. That's where they're going, bro. Especially with the ending, you can see it happening now. You got Vince backing either Orton or Cena. You got Triple H and Stephanie backing the other one at Mania for control of the company. You can see it happening now.
Oh, that is going to be so fucking boring. In the last couple reincarnations we saw Vince McMahon on WWE TV were absolute shit. He had like one good moment, and I can't even remember it. That's how fucking memorable it was. But I remember you and I were like, yeah, it was actually kind of good tonight. But all the other times it was like, Vince, you just don't have it anymore. You know, so anyway, go ahead.
See it coming. I was about to say, you can see it coming a mile away. They're going to be in one of the other person's corner. You'll probably have like fucking Vince and Orton's corner, since Triple H and Stephanie have apparently turned their back on them, and Triple H and Stephanie will be in Cena's corner or whatever, and just a bunch of convoluted bullshit.
Well, you know, and the other thing that I want to say is, for all of you who bought this pay-per-view, for it to end that early, I was like, it's over. And I checked my cell phone, and I'm like, well, damn, I'll be home by 10 o'clock to fucking start getting everything set up for the review. And I set it up, and then I race home. And I was saying to myself, wow, people paid good money for like 2 hours and maybe 35 to 40 minutes of action. You know, that was kind of a rip-off, too. I understand that you always want to end a pay-per-view early because you can't go over with pay-per-views. But, I don't know. All right,
ended too early.
They did, way too early.
8 to 10 minutes early.
Well, the match ended well before that too.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't see the WWE ever reaching the heights that it did again. I really don't, because the structure that they have put in place right now limits that. And there are guys who are able to get themselves over within the confines of that structure, and the WWE says, nah, CM Punk doesn't use enough steroids. Daniel Bryan's not tall enough. You know, Dolph Ziggler, we just don't like some of the things he says on social media. You know, it's like, what the fuck? That would be like a record label going, oh, he's got a hit song on the radio. We're not going to try to push the album and try to get some platinum album sales. We don't like him because, you know, he doesn't, you know, grab his crotch when he dances, or something stupid. This fucking entertainment company makes no sense. Like any other entertainment company just rolls with it. They're always looking for this convoluted, stereotypical champion face of the company guy, and they have left so much money on the table. When Edge was red hot, they should have gone with him. When Batista was red hot, they should have gone with him. You know, what's the same thing that both those guys have in common? Well, they just used him to fucking push heat on Cena. Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, we can go down the list of so many fucking guys. And they just go, yeah, we're going to stick with Cena. Okay, Echo. Randy Orton has a confrontation with Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, and Kane. Triple H gives Randy Orton a pep talk in preparation for his match with the Big Show. Says, you're the face of the WWE, and Stephanie's like, now go prove it. Listen, Randy, you are the Viper. Dude, who fucking cares, man? So we get Big E Langston against Curtis Axel, WWE Intercontinental Championship. Axel comes out fired up, which is a step in the right direction for him performance-wise. A little too late now. During the match,
he's in the graveyard now.
He is. Dude, you've got 2 feet in the grave, and John Cena's standing there with his golden shovel. I told you he didn't have it. I guarantee you that dude plays politics. You know, the fact of the matter is, it's come out multiple times of John Cena playing politics backstage, but for some reason, he escapes scot-free. People are willing to blast Nash. They're willing to blast Triple Ego. They're willing to fucking blast Hulk Hogan. This dude has played a lot of fucking politics himself and buried a lot of guys. And I would venture to think that Curtis Axel kind of buried himself a little bit too, though. But as soon as he picked up a microphone. But, okay, so anyways, during the match you could hear, "We want Ziggler" chants. Oh yeah, Dolph Ziggler and Damian Sandow weren't on this pay-per-view. Oh my gosh. You know, 2 of your most talented guys, Dolph Ziggler, probably your most crisp in-ring worker. I'm not going to say he's the most innovative. He is more crisp than Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. Period, he is. He's more crisp. He may not be as versatile, but he's more crisp. not on the show. The motherfucker is over. You're getting We Want Ziggler chants when you're trying to get fucking Big E Langston over. Big E Langston doesn't deserve that, but guess what? Since you dropped the ball with fucking Dolph Ziggler, which most of us can see from a mile away, guess who gets to suffer the ramifications? Here's Big E Langston trying to get himself over, and he's got to hear We Want Ziggler chants when he's out there. I'm telling you right now, that knocks a guy's fucking mystique and luster down a little bit. It does. Whenever I see that type of shit, I'm like, wait a minute. So fans want Ziggler when Dolph Ziggler's out, or when Big E Langston's out there. But anyways, kudos to those fans in Boston for saying that. Curtis Axel was on the offensive. He got some "You Can't Wrestle" chants during the match. The match itself wasn't bad, but I didn't think it was anything special. Big E Langston worked pretty good and solid and crisp in the match, as a whole. But for me, the match was kind of run-of-the-mill. Of course, Curtis Axel had another guy kick out of the Perfect Plex, which, like I said, Mad Genius, you remember I said it when he first started appearing. I said, if you're going to have guys kick out of it, don't have him use it. But Big E Langston went over with the big ending. I gave it 2.5 out of 5. Whatever, I like Langston, but this was a whatever match.
First, I gotta say this, because I'm gonna say this every week. Go back to the old fucking theme music. This shit is garbage now. First, the match, typical WWE match. You already knew who was gonna win, obviously, because he won the title on Monday. Curtis Axel shall now fade to black, no pun intended. Seeing Big E Langston was in this match. But Curtis Axel shall now fade to black. We will not see Curtis Axel again unless he is a jobber. And that's just the fact of it. He's no longer a Heyman guy. He no longer has a title. Even when he had the title and was a Heyman guy, what do you think is going to happen to him now? Like you said, it is his fault. Guy has the charisma of a fucking broomstick. But, nice to see Big E Langston pick up the win, the promo he cut afterwards. I did.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to get to that. Yeah, let me get to that. He went with 3 obvious cheap, reached for some cheap pops with the Boston fans. He said something about him winning the Intercontinental Championship was comparable to the Boston Red Sox when they won the World Series. Wow, dude, that was bad. If a guy's going to be that bad on the mic, don't give him a mic. I'm sorry.
I do like the fact that he mentioned beforehand that he was pandering. I did find that funny.
No, I think those are the kind of interviews that kill your mystique. Like Taz would cut a promo, Taz in ECW, because that's the type the type of reaction that Taz would get out of the fans in ECW when he came out was, this dude is a shit kicker. He's gonna fuck somebody up. And he'd get on the mic and be like, I'm going to kick your fucking ass, And he would cut these badass promos where all he was talking about was whooping ass. Anybody who gets in this ring with me, I'm the FTW World Champion, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, Paul Heyman. And he would literally say stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's fucking Taz. You could give Big E Langston an AK-47, and you can give Taz a fucking seashell, and just have him stand there, and Taz still looks like a bigger badass. It doesn't matter with Taz.
Taz was the man. A lot of you younger guys
said a fucking TV remote, and you would think he would beat your ass with it.
A lot of you younger guys are gonna have no idea what we're talking about, but the old school wrestling fans know exactly what we're getting. But you could still try to capture that in a way where he just goes, he grabs the mic and he said, and I'm just off the top of the head here. If he grabs the mic and he would have just made it short and sweet, and just said, I just want to let everybody in that locker room back there know that I am the WWE Intercontinental Champion. And if you want to take this belt off me, you're going to have to kill me. Just something very simple. Instead of, when I won the Intercontinental title, it's like the Boston Red Sox winning the World Series. Yay! I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That's the problem with Big E Langston, man. When he talks, he doesn't come off as a badass. He comes off as a nice guy. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
He would come off as a badass and not a nice guy.
I forgot to mention, because I got talking to Ziggler for so much, but they left Ziggler out the pay-per-view with his crisp in-ring work and the fact that he's organically over, but they also left their best mic worker out the pay-per-view. Damian Sandow. I mean, remember, I was like, wow, that whole fucking cash-in thing didn't go so good. They buried him with Cena, and there were people like, they didn't bury him. I said, you think they were really taking him seriously when he fucking beats John Cena from pillar to post in the storyline and still can't win on a cash-in? They think this guy's no good. Okay? And once again,
going in a different direction.
Yep. They don't fucking believe in Sandow. It's too bad.
And like I said at the beginning of this, man, this show, well, like I said before we got on air, this show was case in point. This show basically highlighted the people that they were going with it going forward. You know, the people you didn't, Ziggler and fucking Sandow, they will not be part of this conversation. They weren't even on this pay-per-view.
Nope.
You know, the people, guys like Roman Reigns, obviously, Biggie Langston, who picked up the win. You know, obviously, Orton and fucking Cena, and then Bryan and Punk. Those are the people they're going with going forward. Now, Punk and Bryan obviously aren't going to be the main eventers, but they're going to be the headline of the mid-card.
Dude, they've obviously thrown Ziggler, Sandow, they've thrown these two motherfuckers in particular into the dreaded Zack Ryder and R-Truth slots.
Wait, at least R-Truth was on the fucking show.
Yeah, that's true.
They put these motherfuckers out here playing with fucking wrestling toys, but
yeah, with wrestling toys.
Sandow can't even get on the show.
Oh, my
What
gosh.
type of bullshit are we talking about here? People, literally, there was a segment where these guys are playing with fucking wrestling action figures.
Oh, I remember watching Roddy Piper play with action figures and stuff. The new WWF, whatever they were in commercials. And Jesse Ventura would do the voiceover, and that was cool, them old commercials.
In commercials, though.
And yeah, that was a commercial.
Not on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine in the middle of a fucking pay-per-view where, like, Hulk Hogan against Randy Savage in the main event, and all of a sudden you have, I don't know, Bam Bam Bigelow backstage. Check out the new WWE toys, you know. Oh my gosh, from Mattel. What the fuck, man? Bam Bam Bigelow would have been like, what the fuck? Bam Bam Bigelow was a badass, by the way. Love his ECW matches. So, anyways, we get an AJ Lee backstage promo. Can I just skip the Divas thing? No, you know what? We owe these people. Let's go ahead and do it. I got the detailed notes. AJ talked about others feeling inferior about her. You know, she's talking to her teammates. They took exception with her attitude. They talked about not being able to trust her. AJ Lee gave the girls a pep talk about being passed over by Total Divas. Start your own show by stealing the show tonight. Okay, that was a good line, but other than that, who fucking cares? So we get Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, garbage. Natalia, garbage. Naomi, garbage. You can just add that in every once, so I don't have to keep doing it. Cameron, how do you say it, Cameron? JoJo, Ava Marie, AJ Lee, Oksana, Tamina Snuka, Summer Rae, Rosa Mendez, Caitlyn, Alicia Fox in some traditional Survivor Series garbage match. Naomi eliminated Alicia Fox with the split-legged moonsault. Who cares? Rosa Mendez eliminated Cameron after she ran into the turnbuckle. Nikki Bella eliminated Rosa Mendez with a weak facebuster.
Oh, that was the worst facebuster I've ever
seen. Yeah.
I don't think John Cena could have did a worse one. It was bad.
Wait a minute, we're talking about John Cena now.
Bro, this was terrible.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Rosa Mendez didn't even fall right away.
Well, Nikki Bella and Summer Rae had a short dance-off until Nikki hit Summer Rae with a drop kick for the elimination. Caitlyn eliminated Ava Marie with a gutbuster, which actually kind of looked okay. Caitlyn eliminated Naomi with the gutbuster. Brie Bella eliminated Caitlyn with a missile drop kick. What the fuck is this, 1989?
You gotta go back even further than that.
Yeah. Rockin' Robin with a drop kick off the top rope. Oksana eliminated Brie Bella with a spine buster. Nikki Bella eliminated Oksana with a backbreaker. AJ Lee, not a traditional backbreaker, like a torture rack backbreaker. AJ Lee eliminated JoJo after Tamina hit the Samoan drop. Samoan drops end matches now. Natalia eliminated Tamina Snuka with the sharpshooter. Natalia eliminated AJ Lee with the sharpshooter. Survivors, Natalia and Brie Bella. I gave it a 0 out of 5. 0 out of 5. I'm not going lower than 0 because it's just too dramatic for me. 0 out of 5. It was garbage.
let's just say the best move of the match happened within the first 5 seconds, and that was literally that fucking tilt-a-whirl Alicia Fox hit. Alicia Fox has a nasty ass fucking tilt-a-whirl, and that was literally the highlight of the match at the beginning in the first 5 seconds. You gotta admit that. Her tilt-a-whirl, every time you see her do that tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, that shit is nasty, bro.
No, I don't want to see Tamina Snuka do anything.
I'm not talking about Tamina, I said Alicia Fox.
I don't want to see Alicia Fox do anything other than disappear.
Oh, come on, bro.
Alicia Fox is Alicia trash to me, fuck. I don't want to watch that shit. From an entertainment standpoint, folks. From an entertainment standpoint. I don't want to watch these divas. And it's not necessarily their fault, it's what they're told to do.
Yeah. And then Natalya fucking buried. I mean, even though she ended up winning the match for them, she don't give a fuck about Natalya. And she's got one of the cleanest sharpshooters out there. I mean, she puts that shit on so clean.
Not in this match.
No, the first one wasn't. The second one was clean. Not the first one, though.
I don't even know about that, dude.
But, I mean...
honestly, The Rock used a better sharpshooter than her. And we all know The Rock. That was one of his
The Rock
moves.
Doesn't technically do the sharpshooter, though.
He just does the rock shooter. I don't know. Yeah,
yeah, it's something different. The legs aren't in the right spots. But, I mean...
Wait, what did you call the move, Mad Genius?
The tilt-a-whirl.
It doesn't matter what you call it.
See, Cena fans, that's how you play into it.
Yes.
You gotta beat into it. But, I'm so scarred at what they've done to Natalya. Like in the back of my memory, like the one moment I have from Natalya's career that I remember is when she fucking put Melina in the fucking sharpshooter and she damn near broke her in half. She bent her all the way fucking back. If you have not seen that, watch that shit, and you're like, holy fuck, they're killing the Divas division. She literally put Melina in a sharpshooter and bent her in half with that shit. And now you get this bullshit. I mean, the match, who gives a fuck? I mean, JoJo was the most over person in the match, and she's never wrestled a match in her life. This was her first match.
Well, that match sucked more dick than Chris Crocker, so moving on. Randy Orton confronts Charles Robinson backstage.
Wait! Oh, you gotta point out they didn't even know Nikki Bella had got eliminated till later in the show. They kept mentioning Natalya's the only survivor.
Yeah, or I thought it was Brie Bella. I don't know. Who fucking cares? I mean, dude, fuck the Divas division right now. It's garbage.
The commentators didn't care either. They got quiet when the match started too.
Yeah, well, can you blame them? I mean, they're paid to act excited, you know? Wow, dude, I'd be like, if I'm JBL, I'm thinking, okay, I get it. Total Divas show. Why is this on here? You know? So anyways, so like I said, Randy Orton confronts Charles Robinson backstage. Says, Charles, you know, are you going to call the match down the middle? You get what I'm trying to ask, right? And Charles Robinson's like, maybe. I'll do what the authorities tell me to. This whole authorities thing sucks. Josh Matthews introduces Mick Foley, Booker T, and Bret Hart to the live audience. Rye Trash comes out to interrupt, and we're all thinking, here we go with this clown again. You know, they need to just scrap it. The whole Ryback thing, just scrap it. Fucking make the guy come out in a mask and call him the Masked Assassin. There's already been enough Masked Assassins in the history of wrestling. What's one more? You know, I don't care what they do. This Ryback thing has been a literal failure. It has been so fucking horrible from the jump. And here he comes again. You know, and Rye Trash talks trash to the guys in the panel, calls them cowards, says none of them are going to come down and do anything to him. He says he intimidates everyone in the WWE locker room. I'm not a bully, I'm Ryback. I'm issuing an open challenge to anyone who wants to come out here and make a name for themselves. And I'm like, here comes Sheamus or Mark Henry. I mean, you could just feel it. So Mark Henry comes out. And by the way, Mark Henry has finally gone home with that hairline and shaved his head. He went
Shout
home.
out to LeBron.
Shout out to LeBron. LeBron James, you're next.
Speaking of LeBron, I mean, WWE got a lot of LeBron-built bitches right now. I just had to bring that up. I mean, clap to all the ugly frog face bitches in the WWE right now.
Oh, his words, not mine. All right, so pretty boring big man match. Who gave a fuck? Mark Henry went over Ryback with the world's strongest slam. I gave it a 1 out of 5. Obviously, whenever anyone returns, they get a pop, but listen to the crowd after the match. They're just sitting there and they're like, all right, which match is next? You know, no one fucking really cared. They just popped for a surprise appearance. So Bret Hart talked about Alberto Del Rio targeting Randy Orton's arm. And by the way, Bret was not on his game tonight. He tried. I'll give it to him. I liked Bret Hart back when he was champion. I thought he was perfect for the time frame and things like that. And had the believability coming from a wrestling family and stuff like that. I respect Bret Hart to the fullest, but he just, he tried to fucking do it tonight, do the damn thing. But I think he even has a hard time buying into the shit. But he likes the family-oriented product, by the way.
Buying into it, shit. I mean, they brought him back at Survivor Series. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that because the irony was not lost on me. But half work, half shoot. That whole thing, by the way, this Montreal thing. But Mick Foley actually unusually made the case. Let's see if we can try to decipher where they were going with this. Mick Foley actually made the case in the pre-show and during this portion of the show, of the pay-per-view, that it might come down to Hart, and it may come down to the crowd cheering for Cena or not. And Foley said he wasn't sure if they'd cheer for Cena. Huh? What?
Well, I mean, they always boo Cena in Boston. I'm sorry. I'm kind of surprised.
No. Wait a minute. What? Mick Foley's always been the guy to be like, John Cena's a legend, and John Cena gave me a good reach around in the shower, and he comes out there and this is my chum, this is my buddy. I'm gonna give him Sacco to use during his matches to try to make him more exciting. He comes out there and he puts Cena over. And then they had Mick Foley say tonight that it was going to be contingent on fan reaction. Is this foreshadowing of some sort? That's what I see. Here's the thing. I am always cautious with this because we have seen this a million fucking times where they sit there and they tease a John Cena heel turn, and the tease elements were there tonight in a couple spots. Fuck that.
I was about to say, the end of the Del Rio and Cena match, we talked about it beforehand, where he was posing. When you bring that into the conversation, too, it was weird.
It was odd. And right now, we're so jaded that we don't think a heel turn will ever happen. And by the way, if it does, just for the record, so you guys can know if Cena were to ever turn heel, he still fucking sucks, and it's too late. It's too late.
You got that fucking right.
All right, so anyway, you gotta love this video package that they showed for Cena's return. When he returned from this dangerous elbow surgery that I've had about 200-300 people tell me they had the same procedure and were back at work the next day. But this video package for Cena winning the World Heavyweight Championship with the fake positive crowd reactions where Cena wins. Yay! People are going nuts. I'm like, you think we're that stupid? They also had these Cena chants in the video with no Cena sucks chants. I'm like, okay, if anybody can't see what they did there, whatever. So John Cena's shown backstage being attended to by a doctor with his elbow apparently, trying to decipher if he has to wear his elbow pad. What's next? With this guy. Oh, he has a urinary tract infection. He got yeast infection. He's taking his Vagisil. So Alberto Del Rio against John Cena, World Heavyweight Championship. Cena comes out yelling, "Come on!" and walking to one side of the stage and the other. I'm like, you're not The Rock, okay? And then he looks at the cameraman. It's time to go to work. I'm going to go out here and just annoy the fuck out of half the crowd and half the people watching the show. And then, behind Cena, when he gets in the ring, there are 7 or 8 Cena sucks and anti-C Nation signs. Whether they were plants or not, I love you guys who are in that fucking row. Cool, but Matt Genius has a theory on that. Go ahead.
I think they're plants. Before we got into the whole, theory we were just talking about, don't you guys find it odd that WWE let just literally a whole row of people stick up fucking Cena sucks signs together? Like, you'll see them, here and there within a crowd, but you never see them in groups like that. Ever.
And by the way, folks, I've had, over all the years I've been on YouTube, and we had some crazy podcasts as far as listenership. Millions of people have heard us talk about wrestling. And I've had a plethora of people told me that they went to a WWE show that they bought a ticket for, and they were sitting opposite side the hard camera because they know the arena, they know how WWE sets up the cameras, they made sure to buy a ticket opposite of the hard camera so they could take their huge anti-Cena sign. And I can't tell you how many fucking times, Mad Genius, we had people call into the podcast and tell us about it. I can't tell you how many fucking times.
Who was that? Jay who went to a Raw. Didn't they take Jay's his friend's sign?
Yep. They have confiscated so many anti-John Cena signs, and on our end of it, where we've interacted and had so many people send us messages, it's just kind of weird that they let a whole row of guys have anti-Cena signs after years
opposite
of
the
confiscating.
Hard camera.
Yeah, opposite the hard camera after years of confiscating these signs.
And here's another thing too. When you look at the arena when they panned out, everywhere in the arena was dimmed except that section.
That's a good point.
And then not only that, but either this was a really coordinated group of guys, because all their signs were the same, black with white writing. Black with white. You rarely see people with signs the same color unless they came together.
Oh, yeah. So and it's a wrestling tradition to pass out signs in a crowd.
Yeah, so not only that, but then you get the fact that Cena acknowledges these, and he goes and kneels down at the perfect angle right in front of him, holds the belt up, so you can still see the signs behind him. Now that picture's going to be published everywhere. There's something to this. I'm telling you guys now. I'm not saying it's a heel turn, but WWE's playing with it right now. Either they're trolling the fuck out of us, or they are going to turn them. I'm not.
Well, the other thing is, for the first time in how long does this guy have a T-shirt he's wearing that's not pandering?
Yep, even stronger.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's some seeds there. I don't care if they turn him heel or not. I mean, honestly, if he's going to be on the television program, I'd rather have it as a heel so we don't have to deal with the Super Cena shit, and heels ultimately end up having to put over baby faces clean. The crazy thing about it is all the greats of all time, and it'd be too late. It'd be too late for him to be in this category. Think about Bret Hart's heel turn. Oh my fucking gosh! The American fans wanted to kill him. Think about The Rock's heel turns, multiple heel turns. It's epic. The Rock did his best work as a heel. Hulk Hogan's heel turn. They actually took Hulk Hogan's heel turn and turned it into an NBA video when fucking LeBron went to Miami Heat. I mean, Hulk Hogan's heel turn is the most iconic heel turn in wrestling history. Stone Cold's heel turn was shit, but, everyone remembers it. All of these motherfuckers who were way more over than John Cena could ever dream of, they turned heel at some point in time, and this dude plays politics. John Cena, how many times has he talked about this? I can't turn heel because I feel like I'd be letting people down, and I like to do charity. That's backstage politics, motherfuckers. So anyways, I don't want to turn heel because, I can't do charity. Some of the biggest heels in wrestling history did charity up the fucking yin-yang. You kidding me? What a bunch of politics shit, dude.
I don't know. So, to me, it just don't add up. Like, you talk about that, you talk about what happened after the show, at the end of the show. It's just fishy. They would never let people get away with that many Cena sucks signs together opposite the hard camera while putting the spotlight on those fans and having Cena deliberately go pose in front of the camera, the hard camera, in front of the fucking signs. That was intentional. Whether it's a teaser or not, that shit was intentional.
Oh, and by the way, Lyrical Threat, my good buddy from here in Chicago, I forgot he said that he was getting harassed by security for his anti-Cena signs. I just sent him an invite, and if he'd be kind enough to join us and tell us what show it was that this happened at and give us some details. He used to go to all the wrestling shows. Yet another guy that they chased away. So when the music shuts off, and by the way, I 100% think that they have a baseline of cheers when John Cena's music is playing. And we had a guy, Aldo, he's gone to a bunch of wrestling events, and Shotty as well. I used to go to him back in the day. Fuck that shit. I'd rather go to a Bulls or a Bears game. But he was telling us that he was actually pretty close to one of the speakers at the Allstate Arena. It used to be known as the Rosemont Horizon back when I used to go to the shows there. He told me that he could clearly hear fucking "Let's Go Cena" chants coming out of the speaker. So I definitely think that they're piping in cheers during Cena's music, because once again tonight, his music turns off and he gets booed in his fucking hometown. Hilarious. There was a sign in the crowd that said Cena is marginal at best. I want to point that one out. Someone wants to screen cap that one for me. I really like that one. And when it was announced that Cena... And by the way, it was on a cutaway shot. What the fuck? A cutaway shot during the match. They never do that. But
that's what I'm saying.
Here we go. Here we go.
But you know what's weird, though? WWE knowingly put Survivor Series in Boston, knowing you had fucking the Broncos, Peyton Manning coming to play the Patriots the same night in Boston. Well, Foxborough, technically, but the same fucking night. How stupid can you fucking be?
I'll bet you there were at least 8 to 10 million people that watched that football game tonight, at least. I know people who were like, dude, I'll just watch your review. I'm not missing that game. Lyrical, if you would go ahead, I'm going to turn it over to Mad Genius for a minute. Mad Genius, remember that thing I was telling you about earlier from last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to take care of that real quick. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Why don't you interview real quick, and I'll be back to break down the Cena Del Rio match. Interview Lyrical for a little bit here on his experience with them confiscating Cena signs, and let's continue to investigate and explore this, because it does seem like something's going on here.
All right. Yeah, so, Lyrical, we're, talking about the Cena Del Rio match and how there was a row, literally a group of people with anti-Cena signs opposite the hard camera. And literally after the match, Cena goes and he poses right in front of these fans opposite the hard camera with the belt up. The whole stadium was dimmed except that one section. Now, you've been to WWE events, you've had anti-Cena signs. We know WWE for taking away people's anti-Cena signs, or at least the security harassing them, asking them to stop. What happened when you had your anti-Cena signs?
Is this mic working? Fuck. It's not working.
Yeah, we can hear you, Lyrical. Lyrical.
Yo, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I didn't see the thing moving. Okay.
Hey, is there any chance that you can jump on camera?
When I get, I'm like trying to configure everything over here, but give me a few. But while I'm getting everything, I gotta move some stuff around here. I'm on my laptop. Basically, both the times I went in the last couple years, they kind of they didn't get on me like I heard, because people were trying to tell me some horror stories and all that stuff, and I was basically just like adamant, like, they ain't taking my signs. Like, I paid my hard-earned money to get up in here and all this other stuff. But last time they really, I think because I was so close to the front and prominent on camera, and there was really nothing they could do. I think that's why security had kind of got on me. They didn't take any of my signs, and they didn't get too forceful, but they were harassing me a little bit more than it should have been. It was a little bit, they were definitely instructed to mess with people that had Cena signs, and especially you've seen my signs, so my signs were definitely designed to antagonize those bookers and some of those other people. The funny thing about it, though, when I went to Extreme Rules, I don't know if I told you guys this story, but because we got there a little bit late because there was a lot of traffic that I didn't expect before we got up there. And so when, because my cousin was with me, so when we got up there, we got there a little bit late, and fortunately we just happened to go right in the gate that was right by where our seats were at, so we pretty much just went down. But before we did, this guy just walked up to us, this weird nerdy looking guy walked up to us, and had no idea who he was. He said, "Hey man, yeah man, I work for WWE, man, you want to do an interview?" I'm like, okay. And he was just some weird nerdy looking guy, and I'm just like, is this dude crazy or something? Then all of a sudden, these two big huge cameras and this boom and these lights just come out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, this dude's for real. So he actually interviewed me for CM Punk's movie. It's a little small piece of it is in the Blu-ray, and I'm holding one of the signs. And I'm like, this dude's interviewing me because of the sign, and then I go down and get harassed because of the sign. It's like the right hand does not know what the left hand is doing. It's amazing.
Wow, dude, I'll be right back. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And real quick for everybody who doesn't, who didn't get a chance to see the pay-per-view, or just wants to see a still photo of it, I just retweeted a picture. So if you go to my Twitter at Virtuoso Sports, there's a picture of where Cena posed in front of all of these anti-Cena signs.
See this? I think it was a plant, just from what you described.
Literally, that was right in front of the hard camera, deliberately.
Because they worked so hard to try to. I remember a couple years ago at WrestleMania, there had to be like 20 people that had this big, huge. They had like these big, huge aluminum foil letters, and they went straight across the hard camera, and it's like you could not avoid it, but they tried to avoid it anyway, and they just tried to bring the camera down low so you couldn't see it. They just tried to bring it down low to the ring, and I'm like, wow, they went to that much trouble to try to hide people's disgust with Cena.
Yeah, they didn't hide this. Cena grabs his belt, he looks at the signs, and then he goes over there, gets on his knees, and poses right in front of him.
That's a joke. I don't know. My theory's always been, at this point, because to me they had a chance at WrestleMania if he would have if they would have had that same finish to WrestleMania. And then Cena would have turned around, shook his hand, and not rock bottomed him, but rock bottomed him, F you, whatever, attitude adjustment, whatever the hell he calls it now. He would have turned around right there and just put a finishing move on Rock and just gave the right look to the camera, just the right evil, heelish look, and then just walked off. That would have been the perfect heel turn right there. And to me, the only way now that he can make it work, to me, for it to really be effective, and to me, it still wouldn't be as good as if he would have done it this year, but if he beats Undertaker clean, completely clean, and afterward, Taker shakes his hand, and he shakes Taker's hand, and then he pulls him into an attitude adjustment, and then, gives a heelish look to the camera or whatever. And those are the only two ways to me that it'll work.
They missed a few opportunities. The feud with Ziggler, where Ziggler was over, and then if Ziggler would have beat him clean at TLC to keep his money in the bank, and then cashed in the next night, he would have. And on the Big Show, who was the heel champion at the time, that would have been it. You had the time there. You had the feud with Daniel Bryan. Obviously, would have been the perfect time to turn Cena heel.
Yeah, because this is straight up ego stuff, man, because they're losing money. Because remember, for a short time they were selling the Cena Sucks t-shirts, and they really didn't look that fucking great either. Because they wanted an excuse for them to not sell, just like they make all Daniel Bryan shirts suck, so they can say that he can't sell merchandise. But his shirts suck. I haven't seen a Daniel Bryan shirt yet that I would want to rock. And I rock wrestling shirts all the time. I rock CM Punk shirts. I got a couple Edge shirts. I got some wrestling shirts. And I would not rock a Daniel Bryan shirt. And he's in my top 3. So, because his shirts don't look good. They got to be fashionable too. There's a lot of Punk shirts that I don't like. And Punk is probably my favorite, overall. just character, work rate, promos, all that. And he's a Chicago guy, of course. But and he's a Cubs fan like me. But they're losing money on that, dude. If they turned him heel and they made a real Cena sucks shirt. That
shirt would fucking sell out.
Yeah, put his face on it in a ridicule kind of way, and Cena sucks with his face right in the middle and like a little, Cena Busters. Make it look like Ghostbusters except put Cena's face. I mean, dude, they could make a design that would be awesome as fuck that people would want to rock. They would sell way more of those than this Born Stronger, whatever the fuck he's wearing now. Like, get the fuck out of here with all these inspirational men. Get the fuck out of here, man. You ain't inspirational. Fuck it. The only thing you fucking inspire to me is sleep. When I fucking see you, get the fuck out of here. Like, Born Stronger and come on, man. Rise above the hate. You ain't inspiring no fucking body, man. That's why you hang around with retarded. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't use that word.
No, you're fine. I'm saying
hang around with Cena Tard. Come on, man. It's a joke.
It's not only that, but the way they ended the show, basically they teased the Orton versus Cena champion versus champion match or unification match, one of the two. I don't think they're going to go with the unification because of the house show thing where they like having a champion at each, but they are teasing a champion versus champion thing where, Orton was in the ring after he won his match and Cena comes down and Triple H and Stephanie are giving like Orton this look, and over the past couple of weeks they've really been like teasing this Orton split from Triple H and Stephanie or whatever. Like they're teasing a Cena heel turn again, but it doesn't mean anything until it actually happens. Or
what I think they're doing, and this is. I don't know.
They're trolling us.
That's exactly what I think they're doing. I think they're teasing a Cena heel turn to make it look that way, and then they're basically gonna kind of do what TNA did with Bully Ray. When Bully Ray, except Bully Ray stretched it a little further, and he made like the complete face turn and stuff, and then he turned back heel, immediately, and I married your daughter just to get the title. Now that I got the title, fuck you, and all that stuff. I think they're gonna do that with Orton. They're gonna start giving him all these hope spots in these matches and putting him against heels and stuff. And then he's gonna be like this tweener face. And then they're gonna have Cena doing heelish, brutal shit. And then when it comes down to it, they're gonna pull it back, and then Orton's gonna go back heel, and Cena's gonna go back babyface. And I think they're trying to use that to build up Cena as a babyface even more. I mean, just based on their history, it seems like they would do some bullshit like that, And it's like, I don't know. To me, would make sense. And this isn't just me wanting Cena to be heel because I don't like him. But what honestly makes sense, they're talking all this face of the company stuff, but it's like they wanna use that issue to get heat, but at the same time, they don't want to face the complete reality of it, that Cena is. And I think what they should do is they should put Cena in the place of Orton, because I could see Cena coming out with the suit on, the suit and the tie, and cutting the fucking John Laurinaitis type promos and getting that Vicky Guerrero heat. I mean, that Vicky Guerrero heat when she was on SmackDown, and overweight Vicky Guerrero heat. I mean, he'd be getting that fucking X-Pac heat. I mean, I could see that shit. That shit would work.
Yeah, I mean, here's another positive. I mean, as much as we fucking hate Cena, a heel turn for Cena, what that would do is a lot of these new faces that you have coming up, they would finally have a guy who was a legitimate over heel, because people legitimately hate John Cena.
Yeah.
And then to have your faces going out there and picking up wins over the biggest, he would end up being the biggest heel in the company without a doubt. That would mean a lot for the other guys. As much as we fucking hate Cena, he would by a far margin be the biggest heel if he turned heel. By far.
I agree.
And Grits, I see you in the comment section. Check your invites, buddy.
Yeah, we're putting you on the spot, brother.
Yes. So, anyways, dudes in it's announced that he's from West Newbury, Massachusetts. There's a pop because it's a local fucking reference.
It's just like Cole Cabana being from Deerfield, right?
Yeah, and
there you go.
the fucking local thing is he gets a local pop,
Right.
and then it's followed by "Let's go Cena." Cena sucks. You
Dude,
know,
I can tell you from being in the arena that Let's Go Cena shit is piped in like a mug, dude.
Dude, I know it is.
The shit is piped in. I've been there. It's piped in. Trust me. Because when I was there for Extreme Rules, and because I think I've heard you say it on the show before, like, man, them real dudes should just Cena sucks, and just go over them. But they pipe it in for so long so that the kids can get their momentum going, and it's hard for us to cut into that shit because we tried it. We tried it when we were there. So that shit did not work.
All right, so
I don't know how they do it, but obviously he's hired the best audio people he can and that money can buy, so they got the whole science of that shit down, unfortunately.
How much of a failure is it that they've literally done everything? They've shown this guy with poor children, you know, in terrible situations. They've been handed horrible life circumstances, you know, giving his time to them. They've showed him with troops. They've showed...
Bro, they showed him lifting fucking Mack trucks off of puppies already. Like,
Yeah.
what more is there left?
He still gets Cena sucks in every arena he goes into, except for your occasional 70-30 split in a Hicktown. I mean, it's gotta be the fucking most obvious failure that they've ever had next to the fucking WWE Network and XFL or WBF or whatever it's called.
The world bodybuilding thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
Gary
huge
Stridham, he's our guy, you know. The fact that they're oblivious to the fact that you have lost a lot of viewers because you've gone with the same fucking format for so long. The fact that they're oblivious to the fact that even the people who still stick around, at least half of them can't stand the motherfucker. It's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in entertainment history.
Worldwide ego.
Dude, a 50-50 split in his hometown. If that. I'm being generous here.
Sad.
So anyways, now compare that to the reaction that CM Punk gets in Chicago.
I was just about to say, because when he was at his height as a heel, he would come here and get mega pop. Punk would have to do it, and this was so brilliant. I used to love when he would do it. He would start playing to the crowd, and then he would get like the, he would set you up so he could knock you down. I used to love how he would do that. He would start saying stuff about the Cubs and all that stuff. And just like the Cubs, you people are losers. You know, he'd just come in with something like that. He'll set you up and knock you down.
Oh, shit.
He had to do that.
Business is about to pick up. Grits is here.
Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
A lot of the
Yes,
newcomers
sir.
have no idea. No idea. What do you think about John Cena still getting booed everywhere he goes?
Fuck boy Cena, man.
Yeah.
Why are we still having this goddamn discussion, man?
I don't know. I don't know. And there's people that defend it to me. They're like, come on, you're too hard on Cena. I'm like, what? It's entertainment, motherfucker. I don't like him.
Now, wait, I have to ask Gris something since we haven't had him here though. Like, Gris was the original growth factor. Gris, would you bang Dixie Carter, bro?
Are you fucking kidding me? With nothing on but my socks, man.
Bruce, I told you, man. I win.
Listen, y'all can say what I'm eating that ass.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah.
Hey, I'm getting started to deal a little Honda Civic. It's not just for pure
At least get you
entertainment.
a Fiat, man.
Oh, man.
It's not just for pure
Wow.
entertainment.
Man.
I'm lying. I do it for free too, man.
All right. I guess.
See.
My man's Gris. My man's plastic pants.
I guess even.
The original gross factor, baby.
He is the original growth factor, guys.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
In this case, cougar factor.
Good to have you. Good to have you back, Grits. You sound good.
Thank you, man.
Sir.
People were like, "When's Grits
Great
coming
hearing
back?"
your voice, man.
People were like, "When's Grits coming back?" I'm like, "Look, I'm not. I'm thinking I'm not going to put pressure on him. He'll come back when he's good and ready."
Yes, thank you, man. Thank you.
So,
It's just, I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm still a fan, man. I'm mad. I've been missing him in this shit, man. Let's go bury this motherfucker.
All right, fine. Let's get into the match. You gotta fucking love the fact that Alberto Del Rio's working over Cena's arm. Listen to this. He's working over Cena's elbow for quite a while. But every single, he's working over Cena's elbow, Cena's just laying there. Dude. And then Cena would mount up and come back and he'd be the arm is good. The arm is good. The arm is good. I'm like, wait a minute. He's been working over your arm for 10 minutes, dude. Most guys would they'd go for a move and they would fucking still favor the arm, or Hogan would body slam someone.
I'm about to say, even Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he would body slam someone. They'd sell his back oh, brother. Yeah. Oh, brother, this back, brother.
Oh, anybody got a vitamin? Oh, my back. Oh.
Yeah, the Iron Sheik tried to fuck me in the ass and make me humble.
Suplex me, make me humble.
Brother, with a beer bottle. Some people are going to
wax on, wax off.
Yeah, some people are going to get that reference.
Wax off the same time.
So the motherfucker doesn't sell any damage done on his fucking arm. He uses it to attack Del Rio, including the stupid shoulder tackles. I'm like, wait a minute, your left arm is supposed to be surgically repaired, and you've been attacked on your left arm the whole match, and he, instead of throwing the shoulder tackles with his right arm, he's throwing them with his left. And he's not what
about the tornado DDT off the top rope?
With his left arm!
Wait a minute. Wait, Cena did a tornado DDT, or he had one done on him?
No, he did one.
No, he did one with his left arm.
Oh, and by the way, it wasn't all that clean. They over rotated.
He needs to seriously. He needs to stop this shit, man. Come on, man.
So he hit his 2-inch vertical drop kick too. The one where he wouldn't even jump over a phone book.
And his feet are
the one where
together.
Yes.
Where he's curled up in the fetal position in the air.
Yes. So anyways,
a drop kick. He's taking a bump on his side and shit. Straight, come on.
So they're trying to tell the story of Del Rio working over the arm, and it was lost on me because every time Cena would mount up and then get cut off again, he'd mount up and whoa, my left arm is good.
Wax on.
Oh wait, he's been working with my left arm. Oh shit,
I gotta start calling him Daniel-san Cena now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised he didn't break out the Hera self-power bomb Rana.
He did a horrible job.
You're gonna have to call it the Cena Rana or some shit, because you can't call that a Hurricane Rana.
It's a Hurricane self-power bomb Rama.
He power bombs himself. Toward all luchadors, that's like a slap in their face.
He literally put over no damage, none. Seriously, go back and watch the match. He didn't sell any damage. Let me get through this here. So
is this really wrestling, Bruce? Man.
Yeah, I want to see him get pushed off the stage like Zack Ryder and see what he fucking
he'd get pushed off the stage and then just lay there. And then all of a sudden someone will go for their finishing move and he would just pop up and woo!
Like I said last week, Optimus Prime, man. Optimus Prime.
Alright, so anyway,
cannon, bam.
Del Rio worked over Cena for most of the match. Every time Cena kicked out at 2 and mounted up. Then Del Rio would cut him off again. Cena hit Del Rio with a tornado DDT in the match, which I didn't think looked all that great. I've seen a lot of tornado DDTs, blah. He wasn't light on the move. He looked too heavy on the move and over-rotated a little bit.
I want to see him get pushed off the stage like Zack Ryder.
In a wheelchair. Yes, in slow motion. It was so pathetic because John Cena's sitting on the top rope and he's just sitting there. How Cena sells where it's just fucking really lame. And Michael Cole says, John Cena showing the wear and tear of this matchup.
Oh,
Before he threw the leg drop, I'm like, wait a minute, really? You know, the whole match, this motherfucker has not sold anything that he's done to his arm. If he's showing the wear and tear, he'd be walking around the ring like his arm was about to fall off. You know, but, oh my gosh.
He's probably smiling walking around the fuck. He's a fucking
He did.
cocksucker.
He did. Wait, I'll get to
telling
that in
you.
a minute. I will get to that in a minute. He did.
Condescending piece of shit.
Oh, dude, the way he tells the story, it fucking ruins the match. Well, he
What
doesn't
story?
tell a story, yeah. Yeah, exactly. You see, so we got to see Cena's constipation face again with the STF. I gotta go! I gotta go in the bathroom!
I'm so glad I didn't see this now that you're describing it. I would have thrown some shit at my
I'm
TV.
pulling really hard, and you can fit a brick between my arms and his face, but...
Yo, I was just about to say that. Yo, you could put a fucking flotation device around motherfuckers neck and still have room when this motherfucker throws that hold on, man. I can't stand this piss poor example of a fucking...
You could put 3 people's heads in there and shit and still have
Yo,
slack.
I'm tired
Ridiculous.
of this motherfucker, man. The face he makes when he... Like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, you know what type
He's
of
in more
shame that
pain than the
puts-
person in the fucking hole.
I got him!
It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense, man.
Just stop doing the fucking STF. Quote of the night came from Michael Cole, guys. He said, everything Del Rio has tried, Cena has kicked out and countered. Oh!
Wait. There's the JBL has something too where they were saying Del Rio they said something about Del Rio can't figure out how to put him down, and JBL was like, everybody else been trying to figure that out for the last decade.
Including the fans. Including the fans, by the way.
Oh, man. I told you, man, WWE has to sign Optimus Prime. I'm telling you. And they gotta let him use the cannon in matches. They gotta make the cannon
Wait, what was that you said last time? You were like, wait, but John, he's a 70-foot tall robot.
Dude. At the end of Iron Man 3 with like the 50 Iron Man suits.
Oh my god.
John Cena's like just selling, and then all of a sudden he just pops up and attitude adjusts all of them. Come on, fuck out of here. Okay, so Cena hit the pop-up neck breaker, and it actually looked okay this time. Del Rio put the armbar finisher on Cena, and the hilarity ensued with the announcers trying to sell us on this.
Oh,
Is Cena going to tap out? Of course not! Of course not, motherfucker!
Come on.
Oh my gosh, he hasn't tapped out since Kurt Angle!
And let me take a guess. Let me take a guess and ask a question at the same time. When he had him in the armbar, did Cena do all of that stiff shit he usually did, or did he actually like let the arm be loose and look like he was actually getting that shit pulled?
No, he did not. It didn't look good. It didn't look realistic.
I figured. I mean, with him being all big and bulky, he needs to like give as much of his arm as possible to make that look like anything. But you know,
Agreed.
he never does. He never will.
So guess what? Out of nowhere, Cena pops out of the fucking armbar, and then fucking Del Rio attempts to put the armbar on him again, and he just slips out of it. You know, of course.
No technique or nothing.
Just slips out of it and hits the attitude adjustment for the standing fireman's carry, folks. That's what it is.
Oh god.
It's the standing fireman's carry for a 3 count. After the match, Cena walks around like he had just gotten in the ring, I won. I know you're mad. You know, just smiling and shit. And then he held up the belt. We were talking about this already after the match with all the fucking Cena sucks signs behind him in his home fucking town. Stale ass motherfucker, John Cena. 0 out of 5 I give the match. It was trash.
When you said he held up the belt, I thought you were going to say he held up a Make-A-Wish baby or something. He held up a Make-A-Wish baby. Like me.
Have you guys ever seen those sad commercials for Animal Rescue? Or they got the sad music playing, and they show like a little puppy dog. That's the next step, man. That's the WWE.
You're right.
They need John
He's gonna come
Cena.
to the ring holding puppies and giving out puppies to the crowd.
Oh, what? I wouldn't be
That's the
surprised to
next
see
step,
John
for
Cena
real.
like a PETA commercial next year or something.
all of a sudden, John Cena's getting ready for a big match against Daniel Bryan. They do a video package and it starts with John Cena hugging a tree. We need to save the trees, stop wasting paper.
Hashtag please help Cena get over.
Oh man, dude! All of a sudden, Cena comes out with a little puppy dog, and he's like, "I have a new cause that I really believe in now. And it's saving homeless animals, and help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed and neutered." I mean, come on. Oh my gosh, this motherfucker is garbage.
Meet my cute beagle puppy. His name is Over. Say hi, Over. No, not Over.
All of a sudden, Raw comes on tomorrow night, and Cena's standing there in the ring, and he's got like a little animal cage. And folks, I know some of you like me, some of you don't, but I appreciate the reaction you all give me, and that's why I do this. But what we have right here is a Shih Tzu that I found in a ditch last night.
Man, that is the step.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness!
Fuck him. Grits, what do you think, man? Cena, someone else doing another clean job for this motherfucker.
And what else is new, man? What the fuck else is new, man?
In the WWE, nothing.
Nothing.
Honestly.
How the fuck, man? Yo, WrestleMania 30 can't come fast enough, man. And I just hope it brings the apocalypse. I hope that brings the apocalypse to the wrestling world, man.
Hold on. Spoiler alert, the apocalypse hits and John Cena kicks out at 2.
Handicap match, him against the 4 Horsemen and shit. And I ain't talking about Ric Flair and them motherfuckers neither, man. I'm talking about Pestilence and them motherfuckers. Man. He'll still kick out. Yo, this shit makes no sense. Why, John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship main event? Are you fucking kidding me, man? Co-main event. This cocksucker gets the co-main event. No matter what, he gotta be thrown in this shit. Listen, man, it's gone to a point where it's who the fuck is paying for this? I know the Blitz team, all the viewers, all the subscribers. I know y'all didn't pay for this shit. If y'all did, wake the fuck up, man. You know what I'm saying? Take your vitamins and say your prayers tonight before you go to bed, because you need help if you did, man. Whoever's new,
professional help,
man. This shit is stale. This shit is beyond corny already.
You need to see a therapist or something.
How the fuck are they selling tickets for this shit? Listen, man. I can't anymore. Man. I just can't anymore. I refuse to watch this shit. I refuse to watch this product. Yeah, I'm telling it like it is, man. I can't deal with it, man. The reason I've been on the reviews is for other reasons, but to hell with that. I'd still jump on the review without watching this shit. And I can still tell you exactly what the fuck happens. Because from the first review I ever watched Bruce do by himself, it's the same exact shit happening. Fuck boy Cena in the spotlight. Fuck boy Cena going on and gloating. He's throwing it in people's faces, man, that he knows shit ain't gonna change, and he know he's comfortable in his spot. And he doesn't give 2 shits about it, man. I don't know what kind of revolt it's gonna take. It's beyond needing a revolution right now, man.
A revolution?
It's beyond. No, but man, I'm so sincere about this. It's beyond being a revolution that's needed. And now you got the corporation, the 3.0 by this time and all this shit. What are they calling it? The authority?
Yeah, the authority.
Kiss my authoritative ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of this shit, man. You got fucking Triple H still. You know what I'm saying, man? You got Nipple H still there. You got fucking Shawn Michaels. Who the fuck cares about a Shawn Michaels heel turn in 2013? Are you kidding me?
Nobody did. Nobody did.
Don't get me started on Shawn Michaels.
No, that was the segue, man. Are you kidding me? That was the segue, man. Are you kidding me?
Well, Grits, for the new viewers, I want to explain to folks why I love having Grits on the wrestling videos. Grits, how long had you been watching wrestling, and what made you finally turn the TV off when it pertained to WWE/WWF?
Oh man, 1982, man. I was watching motherfuckers in the squared circle. I didn't even know who they was, except for Andre the Giant. That's one who, because my grandmother really instilled that in my mind. That was her favorite wrestler. So this isn't something that I just jumped aboard with, or I'm a fair weather fan or any shit like that. Nah, this is something I came up with in both households, both sets of grandparents, man. And I've been a fan ever since. I'm a bona fide Hulkamaniac. To me, Randy Macho Man Savage was the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. I was there. I broke away a little bit for that whole the Mountie era and all that bullshit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I turned away for that shit. The Godwins and all that bullshit. There they had
Man Mountain Rock.
Yeah.
Repo Man and
yeah.
Berserker and all that fucking dumb shit.
Fucking kidding me? Yeah, I was gone for that.
Fucking
shit,
cartoon character ass shit.
Yeah. I couldn't deal with that, but I came back around as a young man, late teens. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit where motherfuckers started watching wrestling. I was already 19. The Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars, the NWO era. I was already a grown man coming home from having some adult beverages and adult leisure time and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Are you saying you already had enough game to roll to the liquor store? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you one thing. You go out there and start kissing babies and hugging pets like John Cena, you're going to get you a lot more women.
Yo, listen.
I need to carry like video packages around with me on my phone. Like, hey, look, this is me hugging a puppy. This is me granting a wish. But you go out with me.
I donate time to the soup kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, who the fuck is turning to watch Raw nowadays to see these fucking Make-A-Wish segments and all that? I used to turn to Raw is War to watch China's ass walk around the ring. I just wanted to see
whoa. Original Nasty Factor, folks.
You can never harass me for Dixie Carter ever again, Bruce. Ever.
I'm keeping it real, but that's what it was all about back then, man. It was a Raw is War. You know what I'm saying? And it was just it was great, man, to be the age I was in that era. You know what I'm saying? The 90s.
Great.
Everything, not just wrestling, everything about the 90s.
I was just about to say, Wu-Tang.
You know everything, man. But wrestling is probably at its peak when it comes to the cutting edge, when it comes to really crossing over genres it hadn't reached before. I can't explain it. And when I turned away from it, man, basically the last match I watched before I got back into it, because The Rock came back and Macho Man Savage had passed away, and I started getting nostalgic with it. But really, the last match I watched was Austin and The Rock, WrestleMania 19, because by then the gears were turning. There was no new star. There was no new stars there enough to really draw me into it like that anymore, because I was in my early 20s and all that shit. I was getting into other things. I wasn't gonna rush home to catch this shit. They had the brand separation, and the fuckboy shit began, man. Once Vince and his McMahon clan brought everything the fuck up, man, and monopolized the whole game, it was never the same anymore, man. And the Ruthless Aggression ever had some of the best wrestling. Point blank, had his hands down, that the WWE/F had ever seen, because of the talent. But the Ruthless Aggression era is also where fuckboy Cena came in, and he began his reign of, I don't even know what to call it anymore, man. I can't stand this motherfucker. This motherfucker has no facial hair, first of all. I just want to smack the milk out this motherfucker. Mouth, man. You know what I'm saying? Get some fucking facial hair on your face, man. He just looks like a cop, man. He just looks like a cop. He looks like a fucking cop. He looks like every fucking cop that ever harassed me in my life, first of all. That right there rubs me the wrong way. He got this. I'm not even gonna talk about the gear he wears. This motherfucker, this cocksucker with the wristband. It's 2000. Why are you still wearing these fucking wristbands? I hate the fucking the Oshkosh B'gosh hat that he shit like that. You know what I'm talking about, man?
Cargo shorts, yeah, the cargo shorts too.
Oh my
God.
God.
Yo, what does he look like, man? And
I don't know. He looks like something that came out of a bad time machine.
He seriously does, man. This Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch fucking ripoff, man. His whole claim to fame was Marky Mark, man. Mark Wahlberg, for those who don't know. Mark Wahlberg was a rapper out of Boston. He you know what I'm saying?
Go figure.
Yeah, right.
Right, there you go.
I'm trying to tell y'all, before he became the acting and all that, doing joints with Denzel and starting up his own reality series.
Oh, the one with The Rock was good. The one with The Rock.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, one with Pain and Gain. Pain and Gain was shit. Yeah.
He's official as an actor, man. But back in the day, Marky Mark was some bullshit rapper or whatever. And if you would have known that, like some of us older cats do, you would have seen so many similarities and parallels with the way John Cena's first character came out, and with Marky Mark and Mark Wahlberg, whatever you want.
Dude. Honestly, the comparisons to Vanilla Ice are not lost on me. I don't think it's actually a bad comparison because you had the two incarnations of Vanilla Ice. The fucking wannabe MC Hammer Vanilla Ice, and then I don't know what he is. You know, where he thinks he's a lowrider type guy. You know?
then, of course, you know how the whole gimmick started was that Halloween special, where John Cena was in that semi prototype gimmick when he first came in.
Vanilla.
They had the Halloween party, and he came to the Halloween party dressed as Vanilla Ice. And during the whole episode, and you know they had the little breaks before the commercials and after the commercials. He would cut little rap verses in between that, and I guess somebody in booking said, "Oh, that should be your gimmick. You should just be a rapper." So that's how that whole thing even started.
Wait! You telling me somebody sat there and was like, "You know what? This sounds like a good idea. You should be a rapper."
Hey, listen, I know this might rub few people the wrong way and all that.
Think about it. Think about it, bro. Think about it.
No, I know.
Think about it.
I ain't gonna go there. I'm gonna have peace with myself later.
Okay. All right. We don't need you. Last time he said that, he was telling people to step out in front of a bus.
Yeah.
No, but at that same time, man, you had Eminem, who was probably at the height of his popularity and all of that shit. So WWE was trying to cash in on that little bullshit too.
Right.
Oh man, I hate these motherfuckers. But Flash to the Future, man. It's been what, like 3 years of this pure fuckery right now, man. Where they're throwing it in fans' faces. No one can revolt. No one wants to revolt. I don't know what the fuck is going on with wrestling fans. I'm no disrespect to a lot of people, man, but I don't really consider the new crowd wrestling fans. I consider them WWE fans. Whatever the WWE is, wrestling is just a backdrop, to tell you the truth, man.
It's Raw is Snort, starring Triple H, a.k.a. the Sniffmeister.
Triple H, man. You know, and that's no disrespect to any new viewers you have, Bruce. I know I've been away for a minute and everything like this, man. But
I think a majority of WWE viewers are waiting for it to get better. I think I'll stick up for a majority of them. I think a majority of them are waiting for it to get better. I think some of them pay good money for those tickets and they just go there to have a good time regardless. You know, whereas us, we're like, you are not getting my money. No. You know, I mean, we saw what fucking entertaining pro wrestling's all about, and this is not it. And the stuff I've been doing on the stuff I've been doing on the website, Grits, I did a full Hulk Hogan WWF Hulkamania retrospective. I'm talking, I went back to his Memphis days, his Florida days, talked about Japan, everything, and I did a full Rock, his entire career retrospective, and just going back through just those two careers and reliving everything, putting those articles and VIP videos together. Then you turn this shit on and it's like, oh my gosh, dude, what the fuck happened? You know, and I think there's a million reasons why that they've watered it down so much, but yeah, John Cena, the Vanilla Ice wrestler, there's no doubt about it. He really is. He really fucking is.
Didn't The Miz have the kickoff show?
Yeah, with Kofi.
And they just beat Cena in Mania not too long ago.
Well, with
just
the
beat
rock
John
bottom.
Cena.
Yeah, but
With the
rock bottom, but yeah.
Regardless, but how the fuck do you fall so far? This is what John Cena does.
Dude, Ziggler and Sandow weren't even on the show. Fucking,
Wow.
You haven't been watching, so I'll tell you, because I know you've had a lot of stuff going on. Fucking Sandow cashed in Money in the Bank on Cena, literally beat him down with the stairs.
I watched that.
Oh, you did?
Watched that.
And he wasn't even on the show tonight. He wasn't even on the pay-per-view.
Ziggler hasn't been on the last 2 pay-per-views, hasn't he?
No, and I gotta update my Ziggler.
Politics, man. Fucking politics.
But this is what happens. Cena
What
is
about
a
us that want
paradox.
to watch this shit, man? I get tired of this.
See, the way I come from, Grits, I understand where you're coming from because there was a camaraderie amongst us wrestling fans back in the day that I don't think people will really understand if they're younger. There was a camaraderie with wrestling fans where you could just see someone with a fucking Austin 316 shirt on and stand there and talk to him for 20 minutes. You didn't even know the person at the grocery store or whatever. Now, I understand where Grits is coming from because he's like, hey, man, I don't understand. It's not the same. I don't understand how people could like it because it was a different time frame back then. I come from the standpoint of if someone likes it, more power to them. You know that.
Yeah.
But, whatever. So, just kind of explaining where Grits is coming from. It's just a matter of, it was different back then, and it's, and now I think it could get back to that, but it's going to I think it's going to take competition. I honestly think it's going to take competition.
It is.
All right, so moving on.
They got all the guys. They got all the guys to do.
Oh, they have the talent. And we put over the talent there all the time.
Talent up the yin.
They just snatched up the American Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. They just snatched them up.
Oh, and they're gonna come out as they'll come out as.
Oh, you don't even want to know.
They'll come out as Team Cotton Candy handing out cotton candy to the kids.
Wait, here's the thing. They renamed them the American Pit Bulls, and I'm like, okay, I can live with the tag team name, but
So
when
they
I found
actually
out like
did-
their individual names, I'm
So
like,
MG
holy shit! Could you
So
get
MG, they
more
actually
generic?
did sign them because I heard from Court.
They're on
Bauer.
a 3-month. They're going to be in NXT for like 3 months, then get moved up to SmackDown.
Okay, because I heard from Court Bauer that they were just they went there for a preliminary tryout kind of thing, which I don't know. The stipulations of it just sounded
Pretty much
the way he
what they're going to.
described it.
Regal and Joey Styles convinced Triple H to give him a shot. Brought him in for a 3-month trial on NXT, basically. Then they're going to put him on SmackDown and throw him to the Wolves and see if they can get over. So
I don't know. They have a habit of taking those tag teams and bring one guy up way before the other, so we'll see. But it sounds good.
All right, next, Matt. Go ahead.
I'll come back later because I just want to read you guys these generic.
No, give it to us. Give it to us. While you're
let
at
me
it.
look at it quick.
All right, you know what?
Eddie Richards and Davey Edwards.
Davey Richards, are they supposed to be British wrestlers? Davey?
Davey Richards and Eddie. Hold on, let me if I can
No,
find.
I heard a
names,
rumor they were going to switch their names around. Instead of Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, it was going to be Davey Edwards and
No. They
Eddie
have.
Richards or some dumb.
No, there's something. It's a totally different name, bro. Like they're the most generic names. Here you go.
Oh yeah.
Davey-
Hold on. Here we go, Grits. We're gonna get at this, dude. There's a guy in the comments said that a lot of people argue that Hulk Hogan in the '80s is what Cena is now.
Oh no, not that again. No, not again.
No, Hulk Hogan again.
Stop.
Someone who clearly doesn't know anything about wrestling history. Hulk Hogan was more popular in the United States and worldwide than Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson.
Hulk Hogan was like
He
Sports Illustrated types.
He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
That's what I'm saying.
The only wrestler of all time.
John
Hulk
Cena
Hogan
will never be on Sports Illustrated.
No.
Ever.
He was the most over wrestler in the history of the business as a wrestler. More over than Stone Cold, more over than The Rock, more over than anyone you can name. Hulk Hogan was that guy. You can't compare someone.
About Hulk Hogan on Sports Center.
That's just,
Bruce.
dude. This dude doesn't know what he's talking
Bruce,
about. Hold on, Grits. Hold it up for 1 second. BlitzSportsNetwork.com. Check out the Hulk Hogan retrospective. I literally, in detail, Matt Genius can vouch for me. He was part of it, and a lot of the VIP team members. In detail, just join the website. I'm not going to rehash all that stuff here. It would take way too long. Go to the website and check that out, and you'll have a better understanding of what Hulk Hogan was back then. Go ahead, Grits.
Please, yeah. First of all, please go to the website, man, and read that article by Bruce because nobody could break it down intricately like him.
Grits. Legend Buck Wild said the Hogan article's what he signed up for, and it's good stuff. Go ahead.
I'm trying to tell you, man, Bruce. I know you. It's an education that you're getting. You're not just getting a subscription to a website. You're getting educated, man. More than anything else. Reading those articles, you educate yourself, especially if it has to do with things that you didn't witness yourself. If it has to do with an era of wrestling or sports that you didn't witness for yourself. You're getting educated, man. Bruce don't give anyone any buffale. And if anybody from down in Miami right now or any of my Haitian peoples from down in Miami, they know what buffale means. Buffale basically means fake product. You don't get fake product. You don't get propaganda. You don't get none of the smoke and mirrors bullshit, man. You get pure facts. You get educated. So if whoever doesn't know, and you need to know. So the only way to know is to jump on the website and get your ass subscribed to that, man, and get fucking educated. Now, the way to sum it up with this is the internet era, B, that started that whole John Cena is the modern Hulk Hogan bullshit. That's the internet era. You know what I'm saying? Because most of those motherfuckers who blow that out their horn wasn't there to witness Hulkamania, man. They wasn't there. They wasn't there when motherfuckers couldn't afford to buy the yellow T-shirts with the red writing. So we used to just take our basic white T-shirts, rip the sleeves off, and use a magic marker to write Hulkamania on the front and shit like that. And it was real like that on the street. Second of all, any motherfucker who's down with Mr. T is a real motherfucker, man. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, there was a segment. Richard Belzer had his own show back in the day, and it was like a talk show shit or whatever. And he's the actor from Law and Order Special Victims Unit. If you don't know who I'm talking about, he used to be a comedian also. He had his own show back in the day. And one time during, I think it was WrestleMania 1, he had Mr. T and Hulk Hogan come up there. And Richard Belzer was basically a prick. And he used to disrespect wrestlers. He used to disrespect the business and everything like that. And he used to talk about how all the shit they do is fake. So he got Mr. T and Hulk Hogan on the show, and they're disrespecting this mother. He's disrespecting these motherfuckers to their face. He even referenced Mr. T as Miss T. And he was just really trying to be snide and smart and all that shit with Hogan about wrestling. So Hogan said, all right, let me demonstrate a move on you then. And he put him in a sleeper hold. I can't remember the technical term for it, but it was a double chin, a chin lock sleeper hold or some shit like that. And this is on TV now, and while he's doing this hold to Richard Belzer, the motherfucker really goes to sleep. He falls asleep. He put him to sleep for real. So, and as he got him in the hold, he's talking to Mr. T. He was like, yeah, you know, yo, T, I'll take it easy on him or whatever. He said, yeah, don't do it. And Mr. T popping shit to Hogan, yeah, don't do it too bad. And then whatchamacallit. So Hogan had him in the sleeper, and this motherfucker passes out, loses consciousness, and Hogan let him go. He didn't know he put him. I bet he did know he put him to sleep because Hogan let him go, and the motherfucker dropped like a sack of potatoes. He hit his head on the floor. Now, he was knocked the fuck out. A pool of blood started forming underneath his head while he was laying on the floor, and Hulk Hogan stood over him and started smacking him in the face to wake him up. He jumped up. He did not know where he was. He told the crew to go to commercial, cut the commercial, we'll be right back and everything. He woke up. When he turned around, there was blood pouring out the back of his head. There was blood all on the back of his jacket and everything like that. And you know why that happened to that poor bastard? Because Hulk Hogan lived, breathed, shit, talked, walked wrestling. Before anything else, Hulk Hogan was a wrestler. You want to talk about he can't wrestle? He can't do this. He legitimately will put you in a motherfucking hole. To this day, brother. He will put you in a hole right now.
Dude, listen though. There was a lawsuit against Hogan for it. This was legit.
I'm trying to tell y'all people.
It was legit. He fucking really choked this motherfucker out. There's a video out there of it, yeah.
So y'all wanted to talk about, he can't wrestle, this, that, and the third. They made him stop wrestling. You think you could go over to Japan? Read the article by Bruce, man.
Dude.
Forget, he learned how to wrestle in Japan. That's gonna tell you a lot right there.
Didn't they break his leg on purpose or some shit?
I was
like
about to
that?
say, and then we ain't gonna talk about him getting the leg broke.
Read the article by Bruce, man. It will really open your eyes. And all you young wrestling fans, man, especially those who shit on Hogan, man.
You have a new respect for Hulk Hogan, believe
Yeah,
it.
man. It's completely different from Cena, man. And to wrap it up in a nutshell with that bullshit internet lore that everybody's brought to the table nowadays about Hogan, Cena being a modern day Hogan. Hulk Hogan is the reason people started watching wrestling. John Cena is the reason people stopped watching wrestling.
Boom. That's all you need to say. And by the way, three names: Stan Hansen, Antonio Inoki, Great Muta.
Oh my God.
Yep, Japan. Japanese matches with Hogan. All right.
Hansen's the dude.
Yeah. I actually didn't put that video in my article, but it will be there now.
Yeah.
I focused more on his career booking mistakes with Randy.
Oh my God.
Yep. I went there. The whole twins thing. You remember that? And then I got into some of the nefarious stuff that went on towards the end, and so yeah, definitely. People were like, "Whoa!" That kind of. My stomach was really upset.
Damn, Hogan choked the fuck out.
He did. Yeah, he did. I remember that like it was.
Damn, that was a legit MMA joke. That was a nurse choke, wasn't it?
So yes, it was. Someone in the fucking comments brought up a good point. When Hogan turned heel and went NWO, it was on the news. It was on the news.
It was. I remember.
God damn, and you could see the blood dripping on the back of his suit jacket.
Yep. That's
he
one
put
of those
him in
things.
a nurse choke.
Back then, that was serious business, man. Dr. D. David Schultz, my friends.
Yo, he slapped the shit out of that dude.
That motherfucker's eardrums were never the same after he slapped
it. To this day, man, the dude got hearing loss.
Yep.
Wait.
I can't even think of the guy's name, but the guy from 2020, that asshole with the mustache.
Here's the new generic names for the American Wolves, now the American Pit Bulls. Davey Richards is now John Cahill. and Eddie Edwards is now Eric Philbin.
Yo,
Regis is fun.
General Hospital character names, man. Are you fucking kidding me?
I told you, this fucking generic ass name.
By the way, Grits, I want to ask you.
Who they paid to come up with that shit?
Grits, I want to ask you something.
What's up, babe?
Okay. Well, Michael Strahan is going to host Raw tomorrow night. You're a New York guy. You're a New York Giants fan. So let me ask you this. When LT was at WrestleMania, that was a huge deal in New York. Does New York care about Strahan hosting Raw tomorrow night? Did you even know about it?
I had no fucking clue.
But when LT was going to wrestle at WrestleMania, how many of your friends were talking about it?
Everybody in school was talking about that shit because of Bam Bam Bigelow's popularity.
For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about.
And also at the same time because of LT and that era. Are you fucking kidding me? When he had the earring with the LT and all that shit.
Right.
Get out of here. People are more interested in worrying about if Strahan is fucking Kelly from the show that he's on with. They're more interested in finding out if that's going on than they worried about him being on fucking Raw, man. What the fuck, man? Strahan on Raw.
Oh, and by the way,
Strahan
LT
on the field nowadays.
yeah, LT. I'd go more into that. Kiwanuka, stupid. You should not have done that. That was a pretty big penalty. But I'll be talking about the football games tomorrow. But LT Bam Bam, I enjoyed the match more than I did Diesel and Shawn Michaels. I'll say that right now.
Oh, fuck Shawn Michaels.
You enjoyed it more than Cena versus Alberto.
Oh, yes. I think that Jenny McCarthy and Pam Anderson should have been walking LT and Bam Bam out instead of Shawn and Diesel. I'll put it that way.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Eric Rowan and Luke Harper versus CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. The amazing thing is that you see the responses that CM Punk and Daniel Bryan get everywhere. Any sane entertainment company in history would put these guys on the top of their cards every night until they fizzled out. When someone's over, like they are, they generally get pushed right to the main event, but not in the WWE. Rowan and Harper worked over Punk for most of the match. Punk gave Daniel Bryan the hot tag, and he worked over Harper with his go-to moves. Luke Harper cuts Daniel Bryan off with a powerbomb off the second ropes. Luke Harper looked pretty good in the match. Eric Rowan threw CM Punk out of the ring. The crowd briefly chanted, "This is awesome," and I was thinking, I'm not feeling the same way. And yeah, the Wyatts had a few impressive moves, like I said, but for me, it was just falling flat. I just had this feeling like this is flat. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan should be in the main event. I'm not feeling this. I couldn't really get into it. So anyways, Punk dove onto Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt outside the ring, which I thought was going to be a reason for Bray Wyatt interfering in the match. He didn't. Came back in the ring and hit the neck breaker and elbow drop on Harper. Got Randy Savage chance. That was not a Randy Savage level elbow drop again, but whatever. CM Punk's, he's great. Daniel Bryan hit the running knee on Eric Rowan. CM Punk hit the GTS on Luke Harper for the finish. Daniel Bryan and CM Punk win. The match definitely had some good moves, some good spots. I just couldn't for some reason that I can't explain verbally. I think I already kind of did, but I just couldn't get into the match. I couldn't. I'm like, I don't care. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5 out of respect for the guys in the match, but overall it felt pretty flat to me. I just never got into the storyline really with the Wyatts and Punk and Daniel Bryan. I felt like they just kind of slapped it together. And then Bray Wyatt teased an attack on Punk and Daniel Bryan after the match and didn't do anything. So, I don't know, guys. I think Punk and Daniel Bryan were the most over guys that they've had in that company in a while, and they continue to fucking misuse them. Even when CM Punk is champion, again, on the website I went into greater detail, match by match, but when he was champion, I thought they mishandled him. Daniel Bryan, I'm still going to have to do that article. I've been kind of waiting on that one. I want to see where they go with this whole thing. But fucking Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, basically in the mid-card with a relatively new act in the Wyatts, what I don't understand is I don't understand where they're going with this whole thing. They put Punk in these convoluted Paul Heyman storylines, which were good. There were some guilty pleasures with it. But for the most part, it's like, okay, the sense of direction is just kind of set at the mid-card. With Daniel Bryan, they had him up in the WWE Championship picture and don't even explain really why he's not there anymore, and he's just set in the mid-card. And I think with Punk and Bryan, they know that they're organically over with the crowd, and they really believe that this is the way that they're going to satisfy people, and it's not. And I think that that iconic statement that CM Punk made during that pipe bomb promo really holds true, and that is Vince McMahon's a millionaire who should be a billionaire. And I'm telling you, folks, I know I keep bringing this up, but over on the website with the Hulk Hogan article, I explained how they dropped the ball with Hulkamania. They've dropped the ball. So the dude is viewed as this impervious, impetuous, fucking squeaky clean genius, but they make so many fucking mistakes, and it's like, as a consumer, I think it's easier for us to identify this sort of thing than them. I honestly do. But Vince McMahon once made the statement, you guys have heard me bring this up before, he once made the statement that it's not the fans who tell us what to give them, we tell the fans what they want. He once made that statement, and I think that that's case in point, and it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. And there's a core group of people who are always going to watch, but I just think it's a matter of fact that with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, they're fucking them up. I mean, these are two really good workers, two guys who are over. The only excuse that you can give me is they don't look the part. That's not a good enough excuse for me. They had no problem never having Shawn Michaels put somebody over clean as champion. How many,
Well, that's because he would never have the fucking match. He would just vacate the fucking title.
Vacate the fucking title. And he was always Vince's guy. You're going to tell me Shawn Michaels looked the part? Bret Hart looked the part a lot more than Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I mean, Shawn Michaels used to wear those fucking long-ass earrings.
Oh, yeah.
That the prostitutes used to wear down in your local hood.
Dude, his entrance music used to kill me. oh, Sean, and then he started singing it. I'm like,
the music, the fucking assless chaps,
yeah,
the fucking earrings. I mean, come on.
Yeah, if someone didn't look the part, it was him. Now, he would get in the ring and wrestle the part. There's no doubt about it. Very good in-ring worker. But as far as all the other stuff, if WWE's going to use those excuses with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, then why weren't those excuses good enough for Shawn Michaels? Well, because he was one of the company guys. He was one of the guys who were rubbing off the right people backstage. He was one of those guys that they had an affinity for.
Rubbing off, okay.
No pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended. But with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, I just think that it's a matter of two guys who, have had backstage politics have gotten in the way of some good entertainment. Imagine if that main event tonight. Okay, folks, let me explain to you. What I want you to do is just kind of sit back. If you have to close your eyes to visualize this, close them. If you don't. Visualize this. Let's go. Randy Orton's the champion. He's wrestling against Daniel Bryan. Okay. Alberto Del Rio's the World Heavyweight Champion. He's wrestling against CM Punk. CM Punk wins his match. And then Daniel Bryan wins his match. And fuck this Triple H fucking authority bullshit. The match is over. Daniel Bryan standing in the ring, yes chance. CM Punk's fucking music hits. He comes to the middle of the ring and holds up his belt and just looks at Daniel Bryan. And then Daniel Bryan holds up his belt and he looks at CM Punk. Now we have something! Now we fucking have something! Why don't they just go that route? And it's not just about what I want. Listen to the crowds, folks. Listen to the fucking crowds. We Mad Genius and I take criticism. Oh, these guys would never be happy. Are you kidding me? Just and I'll put it to you this way: CM Punk. I obviously like CM Punk. I like Daniel Bryan, but my top three. Well, I would say it could change week to week, but pretty much my top three favorite wrestlers right now are Austin Aries, AJ Styles, and Bobby Roode. But Daniel Bryan and CM Punk are up there too, along with Dolph Ziggler and Damian Sandow, whatever. It's not about just me, though, and what I want with this statement. Listen to the fucking crowds. Randy Orton is not really over as a heel. CM Punk is not really over as a face. You've got two babyface guys. Fucking Daniel Bryan is the babyface. You could turn CM Punk heel if you really think you have to have a babyface heel feud, which I don't think you do. This just screams two most popular guys going against each other in a big match. And go into the feud now and have it culminate in a third match at WrestleMania. That's the way I.
What have I been saying for the longest when we've been off air? The biggest match they can possibly have right now is champion versus champion, Punk versus Bryan, as far as the, full-time wrestlers. That is the biggest match they can have.
Yes.
I mean, shit. I mean, I wouldn't even care if it was face versus face. You just got two guys going in there to see who's the best. That is literally the biggest match they can have.
And by the way,
no matter what scenario.
Let me hit this in a place where. And this is really why I think I'm just about anything that they do with Punk and Bryan now, knowing that that's right there for them, that low-hanging fruit. It's going to be hard to really get into anything that they do with Punk and Daniel Bryan at this point, and I think there's probably a lot of other people who feel the same way. But let me draw a parallel. The way that Daniel Bryan's being booked is kind of like the attitude that Kevin Nash had towards the cruiserweights when he was booking in WCW. What did he call them? Vanilla midgets. Yep. That's kind of the way I think they feel about Daniel Bryan. They think he's a vanilla midget. He's not. He's good on the mic. He's really good in the ring. Even though he's a smaller guy, he's able to work matches against bigger guys that come off in a very believable way. And I think
he actually works matches with bigger guys better than Punk does.
He gets better. Biggest reaction of any. He does. In wrestling right now, period.
He gets, biggest reaction in wrestling. CM Punk's right there with him, though. Every time this music hits, man, they blow the roof off the joint. And I'll tell you what, Dolph Ziggler's not far behind. Watch this. This one's going to hit home with grits. And I'm gonna shut up and let you guys have a little bit to talk about Punk and Bryan. And then we're gonna get into the main event and what happened at the end of the show. But Grits, there are so many parallels to the way that they've booked CM Punk with the way that Randy Savage was booked. Now, not before he was champion. I'm talking about when CM Punk became champion and when Randy Savage became champion and went into the thing with Hogan. I'm not talking exact parallels with the jealousy with Elizabeth Angle, and I'm not talking exact parallels when it pertains to Punk and why he had turned heel. But there are parallels in the sense of how serious that they were taken, and especially with the way they booked him as Macho King. And then they turned Savage back face, and he was kind of put down. Remember, he was pushed down a couple levels. And he was still in some cool storylines. You remember the Warrior Macho Man match at SummerSlam? That was an awesome feud. But they've taken Punk and pushed him down. And I really see some parallels between the way that they treated Randy Savage and the way that they treat CM Punk. And I see parallels between the way that, let's say, a guy like Eddie Guerrero was treated in WCW and the way that fucking Daniel Bryan was treated.
I was just about to bring that up. Eddie and Benoit, the way they were treated when they first came
Yeah,
to
I didn't want to go.
WWE.
You know my feelings on Benoit.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying in general, though, as far as how they were treated.
Yeah. So let's find out if Grits thinks that there's a parallel with Punk and Savage, and then you guys can just go ahead and free flowing. I'll step out because I always end up interrupting.
Savage went from battling for that WWF championship strap to being the Macho King, the king of the ring, and he brought legitimacy to that because they was just throwing that gimmick on him, just as as a little side note here. Thing about Punk that reminds me so much of Savage is whatever position you put him in, he's going to be himself in it, and he's going to make it work for himself, one way or another. And that was the thing that Savage did because of the way he understood the business. The business was so different back then. You really had to carry yourself a certain way, man. It was mafioso if you think about it back then, man. The cream rise to the top. So whatever position they put Savage in, he was like, no, I'm going to make this work for me. I'm going to keep my status, my stature, what it is. I'm not letting these motherfuckers bury me for nothing. They're going to have me with this fucking crown and this scepter. All right, I'm going to make it work for me. I'm going to bring in Sensational Sherry. I'm going to really run with this. I'm going to call all y'all bastards in the audience peons and peasants and all that. He cut such a great promo one time before he started a match where he just used all kind of metaphors and shit with kings and peasants and people and all that shit. And same thing with Punk nowadays, man. Whatever you're going to have him doing, he's going to put his heart into it. Whatever promos he's going to cut, the little feud he had with Paul Heyman, the shit he did with Brock Lesnar, I think that was probably to me, just because of the as brutal as they kind of got, that was probably my favorite match in the last year, man. Punk versus Lesnar, man. Just because it had a little bit of that throwback feel, that ruthless aggression feel. Nothing like it. I'm not saying it was just like it, but the way they went at it, the way the motherfucker takes the F5 on his face and on his neck and shit like that. But same thing with Punk right now. He was the greatest mid-card WWE champion of all time.
Okay. Let me jump in, and I want to point something out to give some context. And welcome in, Sam. I saw you in the comments. I'm like, oh, Sam, get in here. By the way, if you guys haven't heard Sam before, he used to come on the podcast as a co-host all the time. He loves wrestling, but doesn't really necessarily like this era. But I'll put it to you this way with Grits. Grits' favorite wrestler of all time by far is Randy Savage, and for him to draw any semblance of a comparison between Punk and Savage, I'm sold.
Yeah, and you really brought that to my attention just now, Bruce, because that's one thing about Punk. He is not going to allow himself to be buried. Even when they had him doing the chicken heel shit and all of that, he's not going to allow himself to be buried, man. And that's why he does that ode to the Macho Man when he does that elbow drop and all that. And it's not so much about the fans saying Randy Savage because he does it like that, but that's because Punk, he's going to make sure Randy Savage never dies. You know what I'm saying? He may have passed on in the physical, but when it comes to this business and what he meant to this business, Punk ain't letting Randy Savage go nowhere. So, and another thing, man, 2 points you brought up earlier that I want to reiterate. How you said you don't care, you couldn't get into this, you couldn't care for this match or something like that. You know why? Because the WWE has killed the spirit when it comes to these two. But at the same time, they're living off of the spirit, which is another point that you brought up about how, they try to throw a little bone to the fans. Like, here's your little bone. We know you like Bryan. We know you like Punk. What they're doing with Punk and Bryan right now is they're fanning the flames of hope. They understand that people, I think it's to the point where people are just Punk and Bryan fans because, like you said, Bruce, they represent more than anything else the hope of change, the thought of change, the idea of change. But you know this glass ceiling is a fucking company. It's 2014 we about to get into, and we're fucking dealing with Orton and Cena still. But that's all it is when it comes to Orton and Bryan. It's that idea of hope that they instill into people. Because I know Mad Genie's gonna get mad. I know Lyrical gonna get mad, but I don't even know if the popularity, what's the word I'm looking for, man? If it's even authentic anymore. I think people are more bought into the idea of what they represent, and they're more sold on that because it's how can you, knowing that they're never going to get any place higher in this company or anything else, how can you still be bought into it, man? You know what I'm saying? That's no disrespect to hardcore Punk fans, hardcore Bryan fans, but how can you just instill all of your passion into this shit anymore? I understand you're gonna love watching them wrestle. You're gonna love every time they get out there and they go to work and all that. But it's almost to the point where people are just sold on the idea more than the actual product that they're getting from those two guys. And that's not to say that their work rate is any less or they're putting on cornier matches or anything else. But just like you said, Bruce, you can't care. You know what I'm saying? I know the hardcore Bryan fans and Punk fans are going to, but it's like you can't invest yourself into it anymore, man. If emotionally or whatever, ain't no motherfucker up here on this review emotional. Believe that, y'all. So when I use that word, I'm using it loosely. But you can't invest yourself emotionally into this shit anymore because you're just gonna wind up heartbroken, so to speak. Because the shit ain't gonna lead you nowhere, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you brought up something that's a much bigger issue, man. That you might have material for another article when it comes to that, man. Because it's a lot more to it. It's a lot more to it, but I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Wait, let me touch on that real quick because what you said just it made sense because there are very few within recent times. There are very few indie guys who, when they came into WWE, brought a ridiculous fan base with them to the point where they were over from day one. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, El Generico, who's now Sami Zayn down at NXT. Those are literally probably the three only independent guys who've come in where they were over from day one because people knew who they were. And I think that had a huge part to do with the rise of their success because there were already so many people that were behind him from the beginning. Even Punk, when he was a heel, people were still cheering for him. Same with Daniel Bryan. And it was organic at first, and then what happened was people like us, we started to really understand that they're not going to run with them, or you got people who who are bored with the current product, and eventually you get WWE who bastardizes their popularity. Like we talked about how they tried to strip the yes chants away from Daniel Bryan. And give it to Big Show, or just make it a general chant. Now you see everybody doing a yes chant or no chant during every segment. You know, they're trying to bastardize that term. They're doing it with Sami Zayn, who used to be El Generico, with the Olay chants by giving them to Los Matadores. And apparently after the show, when Vince had came out, he did the Olay chant thing too. You got JBL going crazy over it. CM Punk, he didn't necessarily have that one chant, but just in general, they've done so many things to derail him and, you know, in his path. So eventually it went from being organic to being what's the word I'm trying to find here?
Synthetic.
Yep, it's synthetic. It's basically what it is, to where, like Gris just said, now they're just cheering for the idea of what they represent, and they're no longer cheering for what they are.
Don't even feel real anymore. Just
after that last Raw, real quick, because this was what you talking about, Mad Genius. When they had that 18,000-man tag team match with the Bryan and the Wyatts and the Shield and everything, and those chants at the end with Daniel Bryan orchestrating the yes, it just felt so phony. At that time, it just felt so phony, man.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. You know, at first people were doing it because they actually were happy for the guy, they liked them. You know, same with CM Punk, and now fans just chant yes because, you know, Daniel Bryan is going out there, you know, constantly doing the yes thing because that's what WWE wants him to do, and now you got everybody else doing the yes. I mean, even at one point, remember, Alberto Del Rio was doing the C thing. Him and Ricardo Rodriguez were doing that. Like, it's not organic anymore. They're forcing the fans to do it.
It's manufactured.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they're doing it for money purposes, man. You know, and they're doing it for money. No longer Daniel Bryan's the yes guy. You know, and not only that, if it came from that wrestler and not from WWE, then they really don't like it, such as the yes chants, because the yes chants had nothing to do with WWE. It was all Daniel Bryan, who has admitted he got it from Diego Sanchez, the MMA fighter, to come out and do it. And then it just ended up getting over because people love Daniel Bryan. When Daniel Bryan got fired during the whole Nexus angle or whatever, me and Bruce were watching a video of a John Cena match, and literally after the match, their fans were chanting for Daniel Bryan. He wasn't even there. And people didn't even really know who Daniel Bryan was unless you've seen his indie work. And Daniel Bryan's always been over.
And that was on a pay-per-view, Mad Genius.
Yeah, and Daniel Bryan has always been over, and WWE doesn't like the fact that he got over on his own. Same with CM Punk. Same with Sami Zayn, who's El Generico now down at NXT. They don't like the fact that they come in with, I mean, obviously you get the name changes, which is obviously part of it. WWE likes to trademark stuff for obvious reasons, for money purposes, but part of it has to do with the fact that they want to erase these guys' past because they want them to be looked at as WWE creations, such as these chants now, which have become creations and no longer organic things. That's exactly what it's become. So, Daniel Bryan, it's something as simple as he can't be Daniel Bryan Danielson anymore, or Bryan Danielson, who he used to be. He has to be Daniel Bryan. Well, you know, what difference does it make? You know, it's all in people YouTubing this stuff and finding out who they were previously. WWE doesn't like that. You know, I'm still surprised to this day they let CM Punk keep his name. To this day, I'm still surprised. But if it's not WWE,
Paul Heyman for that.
Yeah, but if it's not a WWE creation, they're not with it. And they try to, and if it's something that they can't get rid of, they try to bastardize it and make it something that's for everybody and not that specific wrestler that's tailor-made to him anymore. And that's all they're doing, and it takes away from the organic feel of the show. I mean, how many times do we have to come on here every week and talk about we like things that feel organic? We like when fans cheer for whoever they want to like. You know, that's one of the reasons why I like indie wrestling. The fans cheer for whoever the fuck they want to cheer for. That's one of the reasons why I like NXT, because down in NXT, the most over people down there are fucking heels. People cheer for who the fuck they want to cheer for. But WWE tries to take that away, and it has been happening for so long. It's not just Punk and Bryan that they're doing it with. They're doing it with fucking Cena, just in the opposite way. People hate Cena, and they try to make people cheer for him. You know, it is ridiculous.
Yeah, and someone's asking what's the sound on the stream. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are hearing that.
Yeah, it sounds like a pervert breathing, looking at naked pictures of Dixie Carter.
I think it's Google Plus. I don't think it's any of us. Sounds like wind in the background.
Let me try this.
But here, let me give you a. Oh, that's gone now. Yeah, it's gone now. But
No, it's not.
let me,
It's still
I
there.
hear.
Oh, it's still there? Okay, that wasn't me then. I didn't think it was. I got a humidifier on, but it's on low. I didn't think that was it.
You guys just have to put up with it. It's not that distracting.
But
Go ahead.
let me just make one more mention really quickly. The two in TNA, and I will give TNA so much credit for this. Austin Aries. I highly doubt that run Austin Aries had was totally planned. I highly doubt it. But when you look at what happened when he won that X Division title for the first time, dude was fucking over. And what did they do? They ran with it. You know, you look at Bobby Roode during that BFG series, that first BFG series where he really escalated in popularity. They ran with it, turned him heel, and it worked out for the better because he's better suited as a heel. That's the point. Something happens organically like that in TNA, they run with it. And that's that I cannot knock TNA for that. I mean, even something as simple as the Ken Anderson thing, as much as we talk about his in-ring work, the fact that he, the whole thing with Bully Ray started to, take off really, and Anderson started to gain some popularity. What did the TNA do with it? They're running with it. It's so fucking simple to just run with the fucking guy who's over.
Yeah, you would think so.
Just ride the wave, but they're afraid. They're afraid to give somebody that power that might, leave or whatever.
And they wonder why they don't have any heels who get heat, because you don't have any baby faces who get a natural organic reaction anymore because they strip it away from them.
Yeah.
If you had some baby faces out there, I mean, like anytime somebody's going against Punk or Bryan, obviously they're going to be fucking over, or against John Cena because people just hate John Cena. But in general,
they hate him. There's been a couple people in the comment section who are saying that they want to see John Cena tasered like fucking Goldberg.
Yeah. But you talk about Bryan and Punk. Anytime you put somebody up
to do to him is taser him.
Not gonna work. He kicks
out
out
at
one.
Still kick out 2.5 at least.
But anybody you put up against Bryan or Punk, they're going to be over. Because Bryan and Punk are organically over. I mean, even with the, WWE bastardizing what it is. But that's why you can't get heels over. I mean, you look at fucking Del Rio. He's never going to... He lacks charisma, but who the fuck is he going up against that's really a monster face?
Exactly.
To help get himself over. I mean, look at fucking Damian Sandow. Anytime when he wrestled Cena, he was fucking over. The fans were chanting yes every time he hit Cena with the fucking briefcase. The fans were eating it up. You look at Dolph Ziggler against Cena. Fans were cheering for Ziggler. You look at fucking Ziggler as a heel when he faced fucking Randy Orton. Every time he faced Orton, the fans were cheering for Ziggler. It's organic. When they were cheering for Ziggler at fucking WrestleMania, they were cheering for Ziggler tonight.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like when people... I mean, fuck, even Zack Ryder, as terrible as Zack Ryder is, they didn't ride the wave with Ryder. They did not ride the wave. He was a he was a pile of money waiting to happen. Even though he sucks in the ring, WWE has the guy. He probably is debatably the most organically over guy they had.
That's exactly why I was going to mention him.
His popularity didn't come from anything he did inside or the ring or on TV.
Yep.
It came from what he did off of it. And you're talking about like 1 million Twitter followers and all of the YouTube views.
Yep.
His popularity was as organic as it gets. And they fucked that up.
That's why.
Yep. What's the first thing they did? They took control over his show.
Because let me tell you real quick. Yep. And that's when his push got killed. That's when his whole momentum got killed. But real quick, when I knew that Zack Ryder was really, really, really over is when I went to Money in the Bank, and they had like a Zack Ryder section. I'm talking about, I saw like 20 to 30 people come in together, and they had like the headband, and I don't even know if they were even selling it yet. I think they homemade these things, where it was the Zack Ryder headband with the hair in it, and they had the glasses on, and they had the Zack Ryder shirts. They had on the whole Zack Ryder color scheme. This was like 20 or 30 people walked in together like that. I was like, man, this dude is over. Like we
always talk about Bryan and Punk as being
get no more over than that.
But When you want to talk about organically over, I think Ryder has a case to make as the most organically over guy they've had because, like I said,
fuck Zack Ryder.
I understand that. I agree with
the whole science
but I'm saying
it never rise and fall is
none of it
relevant to what
none of it came from anything he did on TV though.
Not to me.
It all came from everything off of WWE TV shit he did on his own. It had nothing. When I talk about organic popularity, I'm not talking about in-ring work, but I'm saying he was a cash crop waiting to happen. WWE didn't capitalize.
There's a lot of money they could have made off Zack Ryder.
They could have made money, but fuck him.
There's a reason why he's one of the like 4 or 5 guys.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't what the fuck's his name? Alex Riley get pushed. You want to tell that one, Mad Genius?
Oh! He was ribbing Alex Riley backstage, and Alex Riley
who? You said he. Who?
Oh, John Cena. John Cena was ribbing Riley backstage, and Riley ain't like that shit, and Riley got back at him. And next thing you know, Riley is no longer wrestling on TV, and now he's stuck on doing commentary on NXT once every like 2 or 3 weeks.
So wait a minute. You're saying that John Cena backstage politics got Alex Riley off TV? Oh, yeah, okay. What about Tarver?
But he's so good to those Make-A-Wish kids.
Oh, Tarver sucked anyway.
He's
it didn't
so
really matter
good to those Make-A-Wish kids,
but
he buries the fuck out of his colleagues.
Yeah,
he's a good person.
But it's. I mean, literally, I don't think people really understand like the fucking popularity of Zack Ryder at that time.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm one who did not understand it.
I didn't either.
It was as organic as you can get.
Yeah.
Like
Zack Ryder was hot in 2011. White hot. I'm telling you.
It was ridiculous.
I thought he was gonna blow up, man. I don't know why I got fooled into thinking.
Survivor Series rocks out there cutting a promo when they're cheering. We want Ryder.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. How much more over do you have to be to get that?
And once again, we go right back to how Grit started it. People got hope in Zack Ryder, and then eventually the chance stopped. Why? Because it got to a point where people realized that they're not going to push him.
And he started wrestling.
Well, technically he did get pushed. He was just off a stage in a wheelchair.
There you go.
All right, moving on. So the doctor tells Triple H and Stephanie that Cena is cleared for Raw. Randy Orton walks in and says, "What's this all about? What's he doing here?" Uh-oh. Before the end of the show happened, honestly, these were my notes at that point in time that I'm about to share with you. I did not put this in after the show. I put this in at that point of time. At that point in time, I said maybe this face of the WWE thing will end up coming back to being another convoluted way to put Cena over. I put that in my notes right there. That's the first thing I thought was, oh shit! This whole fucking time, this has been a plan to just go back to Cena. Oh my gosh! And okay, so anyway, so we get Randy Orton against the Big Show, WWE Championship. By the way, folks, not a good sign during your main event when the crowd chants boring. They were chanting Daniel Bryan throughout the match. We rest our case. Your Honor, we rest our case. Honor. Let's read the counts of the jury. First count, guilty. Yeah. I mean, come on. Dude, this is not rocket science here. So Orton and Big Show went for, their wrestling, a really boring match. Orton goes for the hanging DDT off the top rope. They fucked it up to a chorus of boos. Back in the day, that would have led to what? You fucked up chants. Let's not forget WWF crowds are the same crowds that chanted Shane is a pussy to Shane McMahon. And Vince actually responded to the chant. I mean, dude, even the chants now are just, it's like, oh, come on, get into them. So Big Show threw Orton into the ropes from outside the ring. We get a ref bump with the referee selling his knee injury. Orton pulls out a steel chair. But, of course, we're not going to get, chair shot to the head or anything. They don't do that there anymore because concussions and stuff. But over in TNA, they've been doing chair shots to the head. We get Big Show blocks the chair shot, throws Orton into the crowd. What did they do in the crowd? A chop. You remember back in the day when they used to fight in the crowd. We get a chop in the crowd. And then Orton set up the hanging DDT off the barricade, but Big Show pushes him off, ends up hitting the KO punch on Orton. Big Show puts Orton back in the ring, and sure enough, here comes Triple Ego. Randy Orton hits the RKO when Big Show turned around off the distraction. So we get a distraction finish. Big Show fed into position for the punt kick, and Randy Orton hit the punt kick for the 3 count, which was flat. The announcers didn't really sell it. The camera angle, it didn't look that good, to be honest with you. And Randy Orton goes over via punt kick, which I thought was undersold. And then sure enough, John Cena comes out. His fucking music hits, and it's quiet as shit. And I just read a comment. I shouldn't have been looking at the comments. John Cena's holding up the World Heavyweight Championship, and he walks to the ring, and I'm like, no. I'm sitting there in the restaurant. I ordered a little salad, and I had a little bit of the salad left, and I literally was trying to finish it because I knew it was about to end, and I dropped my fork and didn't finish my salad. And I'm like, this is not fucking happening. John Cena comes out with the belt, stands by Stephanie and Triple H and holds the belt up. He gets in the ring. Cena, holds up his belt. Of course, he's not selling any damage from his match. He only got his arm worked over for 15 minutes. And Randy Orton, at the very least, I'll give him this credit, he was at least selling the physicality of his match. So Cena's holding his belt up. Randy Orton ends up holding his belt up. He hugs it at first, and then he holds it up. I liked Randy Orton's mannerisms better than Cena, but it'd be much better if it was Punk and Daniel Bryan out there in this spot. And what did I tell you guys about fucking Cena? I had so many people who were like, oh, they pushed Cena down to being World Heavyweight Champion. At least he's not in the main event, and he'll be on SmackDown. Some of you even got into my ear with it. And I'm not blaming you guys or mad at you guys, but deep down inside, I knew it's going to come back to the same old shit, and it did. Oh, and by the way, we get another pay-per-view in 3 weeks, TLC. 3 weeks! 3 fucking weeks! They want people to shell out more money with Christmas being here. It's Black Friday. Dude, fuck this bullshit, bro. Fucking Cena and Randy Orton at the end. I'm grabbing my crotch right now when I say this. Fuck this shit. I mean, it's fucking just pathetic fucking garbage to go back to the same old shit. People don't want to see Orton and Cena. They want to see Bryan and Punk. So, all right, folks, I'm telling you right now, a certain, I don't know how many thousand, last night, my Manny Pacquiao boxing breakdown got over 30,000 views in the first 18 hours. So obviously I was able to reach a lot of people with that. Our Raw reviews have been averaging about 20,000. That's a small percentage of the WWE audience. So I can say it till I'm blue in the face. It isn't going to do any good. But I'll tell you right now, I wish to God that people would stop paying for these pay-per-views. I wish to God that they would. I don't know what, if you really need to see it, I'm not going to say anything else about that. But I've got a restaurant I go to where they pay for it, so I'm kind of contributing to the problem. But at the same time, it's like, fuck, if everyone would just say, fuck this, I'm not paying for Cena and Orton, it would put that's the only way you can get through to these fucking knuckleheads, is to hit them in the wallet, And the problem is we can't get enough people to band together to do it. And after WrestleMania, I was really pissed off about, and I'm like, dude, fuck it, let's boycott it. Let's find other means of watching this shit. Don't give them our ratings and shit. Got ridiculed for it. And that just goes to show you that even people who are frustrated with it aren't willing to take a stand and do something about it. So we're fucking stuck with this shit, man. And that's why they're going to continue to be fucking lame. Because they're still pulling in money, hand over fist. Now, viewership's going down, but they're still pulling in money, hand over fist. And we're back to 2008. 2008, 2009, we're back to that. Fuck, man. How do you even put into words the frustration with seeing fucking John Cena and his corny ass in the ring with Randy Orton, a guy who we were putting over his in-ring work, but now that they've gone with this whole thing, this thing's fallen flat, and they need to pull the plug on this quicker than someone who dropped a blow dryer in the bathtub. I mean, they need to pull the fucking plug on this shit, and we're going to be stuck with this shit, man. And the only time that they've actually treated their World Heavyweight Championship like it means fucking shit is when they give it to Cena, and it always works this way with the motherfucker. Anybody else who holds that belt is clearly painted as the second-tier guy at best in the company, usually, or second or third option, I should say. You know, it used to be so good. I wish they would get back to giving us good television, and you know for a fact that it's going to be the same fucking shit. And then in 3-4 years, we'll be sitting here saying, well, they went back to Cena and Orton again. And we keep hoping beyond hope that this shit's going to change, and they don't fucking care about us. The amazing thing is, with all of the people that they've lost, all of the viewers that they've lost over the past 10 years plus, they don't care. They don't fucking care. This is a publicly traded company whose stock actually went up recently, but for the most part, their stock's usually in hell. And they just can't. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a television. Even the movie, even that show 24 with what was his name, Jack Bauer, who would like find and MacGyver. That's another good example. That's what the WWE reminds me of. Is the show 24 where Jack Bauer constantly overcomes the fucking odds in every episode, or MacGyver, who's able to take down a gang full of guys with guns with like a paperclip. You know, it just, that's what this shit reminds me of. There's no fucking believability to it. There's no freshness to the product. And that's the biggest criticism I'm going to have of this. Is first of all, they're the wrong guys to be in this spot. 100% the wrong fucking guys. John Cena's terrible. Randy Orton, this whole thing's not working. And you've got two guys in Punk and Daniel Bryan who are primed and ready for that spot. They're both good mic workers, and it would be fucking epic, and would give us something to really get into, and we wouldn't have any complaints with it. If you want to go with Cena and Orton, do that fucking bullshit on the mid-card. Not with both belts. At the very least, with Cena being shoved down our throats in the past, at least we had edge matches to look forward to. We don't even have that now. Now we're stuck with fucking Orton and Cena again. Guys, this is bullshit.
When you look at the list of guys that people cheer for, you look at Punk and Bryan, hell, even the Wyatt family. A lot of the heels get cheered for. The Shield, the Wyatt family, Sandow. You look at Ziggler. You look at all of these people that get cheered for, and none of them are the featured stars of the company. None of them. Big Show, Randy Orton, John Cena, Alberto Del Rio. Those are the four guys that are featured. None of the four of them are the guys that people want to see the most. Just listen to the fucking crowds. I mean, my God, there's people in NXT that are more over than these guys. Oh my God. We just seen this shit for the last, what, okay, we're going on 2014, so literally the last 8 years, we've witnessed Orton and Cena as the guys. When do you change? When? I mean, my God, if you're on a sports team and your franchise player isn't performing for 8 years, he's not going to be your franchise player anymore.
Oh, but they'll say that they perform, pull up merchandise and all this and that, and all I have to do is offer you the Nielsen ratings. The average Nielsen rating of Raw for the past, it's been dropping bad.
Oh, fuck that. I'll offer you Tim Tebow. Sold more merchandise than anybody, but couldn't play a lick of fucking football. Is he playing for a team right now?
There's a chance. Here, let me pull up the article. I'll show you guys how the applicability of stuff that I've got on the website. Go ahead, Mad Genius. I'm gonna pull up this article that I did.
Merchandise or not, there's athletes that sell merchandise that aren't even on fucking teams like Tim Tebow.
There's a chance WWE has a good chance to drop under an average rating of 3 for the first time in. I'm gonna pull up the years here. I've got you know what? I've got the graph on my computer. I'll just pull it up on my computer.
Back in the day, they were getting 7s and 8s, and now they're about to go under 3.
Well, yeah. I mean,
crazy. I mean, they were getting 7s and 8s with a split audience.
They had, yeah, with a split audience with WCW pulling ratings.
It's a joke, man.
Well, the pro wrestling industry as a whole has really taken it, and I think WWE is really one of the prime reasons that you could blame is they've killed what people think of the wrestling world. Here we go. Okay.
Oh, they've killed it, all right. And shit, when you mention WWE to casual fans, when you mention wrestling to casual fans, they instantly think WWE. And that's not a good look to have for the wrestling business.
It's not.
I mean, hardcore fans understand that there's more out there outside of WWE, obviously. I mean, some people, like me, I enjoy the indie scene. Some people enjoy Japan or, the Mexico with AAA and CMLL. But when you talk to a casual fan and you mention wrestling, they instantly think WWE. And with the current product being the way it is, that's not a good look, in my opinion.
For the past 4 years, see, there was a huge drop-off between 2000 and 2004. Huge drop-off. They lost almost half their audience. And since 2009 to now, and this is based on the average yearly ratings, and you guys can, if you sign up for the website, and if you can't find the article, it's called WWE Offer Us Men the Mid Card, and that's it. The past 4 years, the average ratings for Raw have dropped off significantly every year, and they've got, for the first time since the mid '90s, I think like '96, '97, they're at risk of having average ratings under 3 for Raw this year.
Not surprised. I mean, because even with the drop-off during the Ruthless Aggression era, you still had, guys like a Brock Lesnar or Kurt Angle there to really help carry some of that load. But,
by the way,
Austin or Rock.
By the way, you subtract, and I hate ratings, but I like I said earlier in the show, I researched them for this article. And it's really compelling how many viewers they've lost. By the way, if you subtract the Raws that The Rock appeared on, they are under 3. On average.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all.
So,
well, you take away Rock and Lesnar.
Oh, if you take, then you're really under 3. But if you want to tell me that what they're doing is working, then why do they continue to lose viewers by mass? And another thing that I found out through my research of the ratings, Raw starts out with X amount of viewers. And by the time you get to the end of Raw, every week they're losing about 300,000 to 500,000 viewers through the course of the show.
Yep.
That's a lot of fucking people.
It is.
Who are changing the channel.
Yep.
Why do you think it is, man? They tune in to see what's going to be on Raw.
3-hour shit too,
Oh yeah.
It is not helping.
They tune in to see what's on Raw. Cena and Orton. Fuck it, I'm going to watch the football game.
Exactly.
Well, it's a good WWE never changed with the times.
Like, it's Big Show again. Let me turn to Revolution.
And then I had one guy on the website who sent me some emails, and he told me about these pro WWE websites out there who pretty much, more power to them, but I'm not trying to criticize them for what they do. There was one in particular he was going pretty hard at. I'm not one to really,
WK.
Well, yeah, but I'm not really one to throw stones, but I guess there's this website that when WWE has these sour ratings, they'll throw a spin on it and say, well, it was because of this and because of that. It's never because, wrestling fans are sick and tired of the shit. But when TNA has, mediocre ratings, the competition's not really named. So that type of shit's going on. But all that fucking matters is the bottom line. They've lost viewership dramatically. They had one spike in viewership. Man, I closed it. Let me pull this back open. They had one spike in viewership because they were on a rapid decline for years. They had a slight spike in viewership, I should say, not a real significant one. And come on, pull open. Here we go. In 2009, they were on a decline from 2000 down to 2004. They slowly came back up a little bit for 2 years, and then they dramatically declined from 2006 to 2008. Slight spike going in 2009, and then they've been dramatically dropping again. Guys, the drop from 2000 to now, the WWE has lost half their audience. Period.
Yep.
So
they haven't changed, man. Like I said, I mean, people like you guys mentioned it with Hogan. He was perfect for the times, and then what happened with Bret Hart at that time? He was perfect. The shit got stale, and you get to the Shawn Michaels era. What happened? Shit start going down, and then you get something. You get a product with the Attitude Era that fits with the current time, and it goes back up. And now you're back.
The Hulk Hogan Andre the Giant rematch after fucking WrestleMania 3 had 33 million people watch it.
Yeah.
Yep.
33 million people watched the rematch.
And you're in an era of TV, which is technically probably the edgiest TV we've seen in America ever. I mean, you talk about shows like Sons of Anarchy. You talk about all of the sex and drugs that's out there, sex tapes and all the scandals and shit and controversy and shit that's going on out there with reality TV and some of these scripted shows like you just mentioned, like the True Bloods and the Sons of Anarchies of the world and the Breaking Bads of the world. And WWE has went the exact opposite direction of what the current society is watching. What sense does that make?
I mean, Linda McMahon's political aspirations are not. This is
as a company. I mean,
period.
it's just like in the NFL. I mean,
make fucking money. This shit is not gonna fucking make money. It's not. It's gonna make.
Oh no.
It goes back to that millionaire should be billionaire.
Dude, no, they make money. They make money. But the way that they make money, and they make good money. The way that they make money, though, is they gouge the customers that they do have.
Oh, it's through licensing deals. That's what it is.
Like I said, millionaire that should be billionaire. It goes back to that statement.
And a lot of the WWE profits come off some of their other vested interests, like the movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
it's almost like a sports team. Like in recent times in the NBA, we've seen a spike in the point guards. You know, as far as the level of the point guard play in the NBA. So what are all the teams doing? They're trying to go out there and get a point guard to match up. And the teams who don't have point guards that match up are the teams who are falling short for the most part. Unless
how about here? Some people don't watch the NBA. I think most people can relate to the NFL. So let me give you guys
I can relate to the NFL. Right?
Yeah. Let me give you guys a comparison. And another guy who knows nothing about Hogan is like, Vince never turned Hogan heel during the 80s to 94. Oh, my gosh. Come on, dude. Really?
Where was the money in that?
Come over to the had the belt for. He could have had the belt for 5 straight years, and the fans would have still been cheering. You get the belt for 1 straight year, and the fans are fucking done.
Exactly.
And they dropped the ball with Hogan, but there was a lot more going on than just that when he fizzled out. Again, I'm not going into that here. I covered all that on the website. But, okay, let me give folks an NFL analogy that I think you can relate to. Back in the day, some of you younger viewers aren't going to be able to relate to this, but back in the day, good football teams were built on a good running game and a good defense. Yep. And then what happened is the NFL changed the rules, and they made it easier for the quarterbacks and receivers, the 5-yard no contact, protecting the quarterbacks with all these rules. So now having a franchise quarterback has become premium. So teams have changed with the times, and they've said, well, we need a franchise quarterback who can lead us to a championship. So that's what teams look for now. Like these gentlemen have stated, on TV now you've got a lot of edgy programs, and the WWE's decided, no, we're going to run programs that belong in the 1980s. Makes no sense. All right, final words. I thought the pay-per-view was horrible. I give the pay-per-view as a whole, I'll give it a 3 out of 10. 2.75 out of 10, I'll give it. I thought it was fucking terrible. A horrible excuse for Survivor Series. And I will say this to defend past Survivor Series. There were some really good Survivor Series pay-per-views in the past, some great ones. They were very entertaining.
This used to be my favorite pay-per-view when I was a kid.
Oh, I loved Royal Rumble. I loved the sports element to the fucking...
Yeah, it was like this and Royal Rumble were my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, I was
was up there, but yeah.
For me, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and then when they came around with King of the Ring, I was like, yeah, tournament.
Mhm.
But final thoughts on the show, Lyrical.
Well, I didn't watch, but from what I'm hearing, it sounds like I'm gonna have to watch the. I really want to check out Roman Reigns because, ever since they signed him, I said like, yeah, that dude's definitely got the look. He's got the family.
Fucking
I guess
animal.
family name, I guess you can say, even though he's not actually using the name, but he's got the bloodline, he's got the look, he's got a decent kind of size to him, where he's a monster, but not a monster. They can put some 7-foot heel dude against him in the future, and he'll look like he has to overcome the giant kind of thing. So he's like one of those mid-size big guys, and so I'm looking forward to checking him out and seeing what he did in that match. And
He's a beast.
I'm hearing that Dean Ambrose sucked to holy hell in that match.
Can I jump in for 1 second? I had said something. I had responded to something Jonathan left in the comments about Hogan, and I said, "Oh, he doesn't know Hogan's career." So I get the point he's making now. What he's saying is Vince is stubborn. That at least Bischoff. He says that Bischoff is an idiot who stole ideas from Japan, but at least he had the guts to turn Hogan heel. He says Cena's getting worse reactions than Hogan was in WCW, and they still haven't turned him heel.
I see what he's saying.
Clearly a guy who knows a thing or two about wrestling history. So I don't want him to think that I'm trying to come at him sideways. I'm getting so used to these fucking shit that's coming at me.
Yeah.
About Hogan's career.
John Cena is just the new Hogan. That's all. They're exactly the same.
And most of the guys in our comment section, I would venture to say that 99% of the guys and the ladies in our comment section fucking know their wrestling history inside and out. So please continue, Lyrical.
I mean, please, man. Cena does not have that great tan that Hogan had. Are you kidding me? Did you see that?
Yeah, that's
the same color as me when he had that tan back in the day.
That's called living in Florida, my friend.
Yes, sir.
In Venice Beach.
Venice Beach and South Beach, but
Venice. I think he lived in Venice Beach and Sarasota. I believe were his two.
Okay.
Yeah.
But basically, I'm gonna be I'll find some way to watch it and just to check out the match with the Shield and those guys. And
by the way, I know Venice Beach is in California. I've been there, just for the record. I don't want people to.
Yeah, from Venice Beach to South.
Venice Beach.
No, I was just trying to make it have a ring to it. That's why I was saying it like that.
I go to Florida every year. Believe me, I know Florida pretty well.
But that and of course the Punk match. I'm just gonna check that out because it's Punk and Danielson. I mean, and pretty much there's no other reason I'm checking it out besides that. Because I like the Wyatt family and all that stuff. I mean, I like the gimmick, not really. I mean, the Bruiser Brody looking dude, he has some potential. I haven't seen anything yet that just made me really anticipate him breaking out, like what I have with Roman Reigns. But he's got some potential. I guess it's mostly based on the fact that he looks like Bruiser Brody, and I guess people just hope that he becomes Bruiser Brody, which, there's never going to be another Bruiser Brody. We talked about it before. They've been trying to recreate him for about 20, 30 years. It just hasn't happened. They tried with the Berserker. I think they were going to try a little bit with Sylvester Terkay, but, I'm sure there are many others that just won't come to mind right now. But
and by the way, Jonathan, come over to the website, blitzsportsnetwork.com. You were talking about Hogan getting booed in 94. It actually started before that in the article. Yeah. There's a long explanation why. And it's not something you'll ever find in a wrestling DVD. I'll leave it at that. Go ahead, Lyrical.
But, so I'll probably just go back and watch those. And anything else on the show just really doesn't even matter because Cena is going to be Cena. They're going to keep shoving Big Show down your throat. They're going to keep misusing Orton, misusing Ziggler whenever they do use him. And they're going to keep throwing Del Rio in main event matches. I just have absolutely no clue how this guy is constantly in main event matches. And he was main eventing against Ziggler when he had the World Heavyweight title. He's main eventing against Cena, main eventing against Punk. Like, this dude is like the Mexican Miz almost. I mean, I think he's a little bit more talented than Miz, but he just has no charisma whatsoever. None. Zero. At least Miz has that sniveling, whiny kind of shit, but he even lost that. He's just like, he's like a White Del Rio now. Like, they just have nothing.
Oh yeah, they took the belt off of him and it was gone.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, watching Miz do anything is like looking at a blank white wall. It's just like looking at a wall. There's nothing there.
He even looks like
stimulates the senses. There's nothing there.
He even looks like a fucktard with the way he walks to the ring.
Yeah, I mean,
the only thing I go back and rewatch from him is when he dressed up like The Rock, because that was actually funny.
That was actually kind of hilarious.
No, the best part was the crowd popped because they really thought The Rock.
That's what I was saying, because at first the crowd popped, I was like, is that The Rock? I'm like, he looks kind of short to be The Rock. And I was waiting for the camera to kind of zoom in. I'm like, oh, that's not him. That's when I started anticipating how good is this going to be. And then the way he walked to the ring and everything, yeah, that was about the greatest moment of his career right there. Because that was during the whole period where he was actually the champion and he was main eventing WrestleMania and he was being completely overlooked. Everybody was talking about Cena and Rock and everybody was paying attention to that.
Oh, by far, he has one of the top 5 WrestleMania video packages of all time.
Yeah, so so he came out and, guns blazing for that one. I don't know whose idea that was. It was probably his, because I can't imagine anyone in creative.
Oh, you're wrong there. The creative.
Even the smart people that can come up with stuff, they're going to bury them.
Thank you, Lyrical, because we talked to John Piermarini on our podcast.
Yeah, because I talked to a couple people in creative that used to work for their creative all the time. I talked to Court Bauer and some of those other guys, Alex Greenfield, and their ideas just would always get buried.
Get shot down. Piermarini was a producer for MTV, and he was telling us that, because I'm like thinking, all right, ex-WWE guy, we'll see how this goes with telling him how much we hate Cena. I'm like, dude, look, man, we fucking hate Cena. And he was like, you know what, I'm kind of with you guys. He's like, John's a nice guy, but, at some point you got to make a change and this and that. And he said a lot of times you bring up ideas and they just get shot down. So be careful when you rip the creative team, because the creative team gives Vince has the final say on everything.
Oh, I know. When I started talking to a lot of these guys and getting to know them on Twitter, Twitter is a wonderful thing. You get to know some of these people. That's when I started realizing, man, these guys are smart. They got some creative stuff.
Look at Dave Lagana, who's now working as a head writer for TNA.
Yeah, they're just getting buried. Their ideas are getting buried, and there's lots of stories about, you bring a certain idea to Stephanie at a certain time of the day. You don't take it to Vince. You have to sell it to her, and then either she'll go sell it to him or she'll bring you in the room with them, and then, she'll be backing your idea up, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, I guess we'll put it in, and, all of that kind of stuff. How you got to go through all of these ridiculous mind games that they play with people to get your ideas heard and used or recognized or even considered. It's ridiculous.
All right, Lyrical, final words. What do you think about Cena and Orton being the focus again?
Same old shit, man.
Same old shit. All right, Mad Genius, your final thoughts.
Fuck the WWE, fuck John Cena, fuck Randy Orton, fuck Vince McMahon, fuck Triple H. I want to fuck Stephanie McMahon, just her titties, really.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
1,300 comments, my God.
Yeah, with the new, especially with the new comment section, this thing, it's really screwing people up. But we appreciate everyone leaving comments.
Yeah, because I've been trying to keep up with it and been replying to people's stuff.
Mine says it's 1751.
Wow. Yeah, mine says 1358 right now.
We've been getting average of about 4,000 comments on the Raw reviews, and now with this Google Plus thing, some people are like, I can't comment. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But go ahead, wrap it up, Mad Genius.
The whole real-time thing they used to have.
It's getting really late. Go ahead, Mad Genius.
Roman Reigns is a fucking beast. I've been watching him for 3 years now. Back then when it was still FCW, when that was their developmental. Roman Reigns is a fucking animal. Get Dean Ambrose away from the Shield. He's bored as hell. You can see it in his face. Fuck the rest of the show. I give it a 3 out of 10, and that's only really because of the main event, and you got Big E Langston holding that title, that IC title. That's really about it.
Wait, you gave it a 3 of 10 because of the main event?
No, I said the first match.
Oh, you said the main event.
Oh, my bad. I meant to say the first match.
I was
Fuck
gonna
the main
say.
event.
Probably should have been the main event.
I was like, say what?
Oh,
All right.
fuck no. The main event, knockout punch makes me want to go to fucking sleep.
Oh, gosh. Grits, your final thoughts, my friend. Good to have you back.
Reds.
I think Grits zonked out, yeah.
Oh, and fuck Wade Barrett.
All right, I'll go ahead and
Wait, he was on the show?
I'll go ahead.
No.
I'll go ahead. And speak
Oh, thank God.
I'll go ahead and speak. I'll go ahead and speak for Grits. This fuckery, y'all motherfuckers, John Cena, and y'all motherfuckers, John Cena and Randy Orton need to step out in front of a bus. All right, so I'll wrap it up saying this. What a letdown. You know, it's supposed to be a Thanksgiving tradition. If you enjoyed the show, again, more power to you, but this is the way I honestly feel. Fuck Triple H, fuck Randy Orton, and motherfucker John Cena. Subscribe to Mad Genius at Virtuoso Sports. Subscribe to Lyrical Threat at the Lob Mob. Follow Grits at Grits718 on Twitter.
And check out Lob Mob on Instagram.
Check out Lob Mob on Instagram. Subscribe.
Just look us up. You'll find it.
Subscribe to the channel. Think if you already have, please like the video below. Please support my friends. Visit my channel for my other videos on the NFL, NBA, MMA, boxing, and pro wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, join blitzsportsnetwork.com. You will love the fucking content on there. New in-depth shit every Wednesday. I do Q&A. Right now I'm bogged down. Haven't been able to do as much as I want. But if you leave a Q&A question, it will get answered eventually when I can
Let's
get to
hope
it.
this makes the thumbnail, too. I'm just doing this.
Yeah.
This will make the thumbnail. Wait, let me... Right there.
Yeah. John Cena stink face. Yeah, so I'll edit it with the John Cena constipation face. Fuck John Cena.